Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wrestling Rewind podcast, episode number 3. I'm your host, Jamie Griffiths, and as ever, I'm begrudgingly joined by the two friends that I forced at gunpoint to join a podcast. To my left, we have the man, the myth, the lethal weapon, Damien Hokovich. How are you, Damien?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Good. Of course, it's our first recording in 2023. We've managed to get through another Christmas period and another New Year period intact. So, how was your Christmas period? Did you get anything nice?
I did actually. I got a few nice few bits and pieces. The wife brought me, lovely. Can't say it live though because it's for the bedroom.
Oh
wow! Okay, well, that's where this conversation's gone already.
It's a pillow. It's a pillow.
Of course.
Is it a pillow with an anime character on it by any chance?
I bet it is.
It's a pillow with Yuka on it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm sure you're looking forward to get back in the swing of things and watching some Peter Avalon and Leva Bates, who are on the card tonight again.
Lovely, great.
Shh.
Don't get me started. Well, you will actually in a few minutes' time. And of course, to my right, it's the Tope Suicida time forgot, Mike Cortese.
Hey, folks.
How are you, Mike?
Good. Yeah.
The same question to you. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year? Did you get up to anything fun?
Fun. I was home, so take that as you will. I did get a nice Kingdom Hearts set piece as a present, so can't complain.
Oh, nice. Oh, I might splice that in so people can see the photo, because it did look nice, in fairness. Are you going to wear any of it or just display it?
I think I'm just going to display, actually. Yeah,
it's probably more of a display thing.
Yeah, because we're...
Use it.
Yeah, no, because we're going to... what's it called? We've got a home, so we're moving in a home soon.
Oh.
House. So we're literally going to have...
We have a home.
Yes, we have a home. So we're gonna put the two Kingdom Hearts keyblades I have over the fireplace, crossed, and then we got a Kingdom Hearts clock as well. So I'm just gonna put it underneath.
Are they full-size keyblades?
Yeah.
That's absolutely awesome. I didn't know you had two full-size keyblades.
Oh yeah. I've got Oblivion and Oathkeeper, of course.
Nice. I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to listen a bit of some Alex Marvez tonight, right?
That's what you'll get from that.
Well, yep. We'll get back to that in a few minutes' time as well. So, the three of us invite you to join us as we continue our journey through Season 1, which is a look back at the beginnings of AEW in 2019. And in case you missed our update video, you can now listen to our show completely ad-free here on YouTube, over on SoundCloud, and now on Spotify as well. So, Fight for the Fallen took place on the 13th of July at the future home of AEW, Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, and itself is a charity event in which all of the gate receipts were donated to the Jacksonville Victim Assistance Advisory Council. With a near-capacity crowd of just under 5,000 people in attendance, Fight for the Fallen was streamed for free on Bleacher Report's BR Live streaming service and on pay-per-view internationally. That's right, Mike. It was on pay-per-view, so it's in the podcast. Anyway, going back to the actual charity event, AEW actually made $150,000 for charity for this event, which is actually really great when you think about it. This is only the third pay-per-view for AEW, and it's already making £150,000 to be able to give away to charity.
Also, I just wanted to ask you, did this happen 2 weeks after the last one?
Yes, it did.
That's what they stated, yeah. Because normally, pay-per-views don't happen 2 weeks after each other.
No, they are very, very close together.
I see what Mike done now.
Now, of course, this is our third pay-per-view, and obviously, without giving anything away tonight, where would you guys rank this pay-per-view between Double or Nothing and Fyter Fest?
Beneath them.
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider it a pay-per-view. We've established this.
It's beneath. I mean, yeah, no, do you know what? I have to agree with Mike there. It didn't even really feel like one, to be honest with you.
You're right. I totally agree with that. It didn't.
You know what it felt like? Yeah, it felt like a special Dynamite, which is what it is.
It is what it became. Let's move away from that argument now, though, because it is a pay-per-view, regardless of what you think.
Okay.
But I do agree. It did feel like a special Dynamite. Like Fyter Fest does go on itself to become a special Dynamite, but that pay-per-view felt like a pay-per-view still. This one really didn't. It felt very thrown together at the last minute, which is really odd because they've had months of planning this one in advance.
Did they go 2 weeks after the last one?
No, it was set before Double or Nothing. So they already had the first 4 pay-per-views set before anything. So when they made that
So
initial
you would have
announcement,
thought they had their act together and would have made it a proper pay-per-view then, but they didn't.
well, yeah,
Mm.
basically. So before, when they made that sort of initial announcement announcing AEW, that they already had the 4 pay-per-views already set. So
Right, okay.
it's a bit of an odd one. Well, with that being said, though, I think it's time for the AEW Fight for Fallen pre-show. And oh boy, nothing quite sets the mood for a pay-per-view like an advert for the next pay-per-view, right? Did you guys notice this? I was so annoyed. It started off with a really good
no.
video, and it turned out to be a video for All Out.
I found the entire pre-show really bad, I gotta say.
Yeah,
It was horrendous.
we'll get to the 2 matches in a second. I suppose though, a video for the next pay-per-view is probably better than what we had at Fyter Fest with the apple.
No, I'm sorry. I'll take the apple any day.
Really?
I loved it.
I don't think I've managed to scrub that from my eyes yet. It's been about 2 months since I've seen it. Joined
Nothing
on
like a man showing dedication.
Joined on commentary for the pay-per-view, it's Friday casual dressed Alex Marvez and Excalibur welcoming us to the pay-per-view. Marvez gives us a little flavor of the matches that we're going to have in store for tonight pay-per-view, and I can confirm this right now. He is not a hype man and should not ever be in charge of reeling through the matches. But I will say in Marvez's defense, as much as I love Excalibur, he really didn't sound enthusiastic at all tonight. I mean, we know what he gets to in terms of reeling off the matches at 1,000 miles a second. In fact,
Yeah.
there was even a reference to it in the most recent, I think it was Battle for the
He did.
Belts.
He did, yeah.
They actually said, wow, you did that in under 30 seconds. It's like,
There
that's
must be
insane.
time in it. No, just see
Yeah.
how quickly you can do it.
But speaking of Marvez, let's get this out of the way now, because I know, Mike, you've got a few things to say about Marvez.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, he didn't.
Oh no,
he
we're
didn't
saying it now. We're
disappoint.
getting it out the way now. This is my
Okay,
point.
well, I hate him and he sucks and he didn't disappoint. He did everything I expected from him.
Do you know, though, if he gets to a point where a man does everything you expect of him, regardless whether it's good or bad, then surely he's doing a good job. You know what I mean?
He's consistent, is what you mean. There's a big
yeah,
difference.
that's what I'm saying. He's consistent, man. Like, give him that.
I'd argue that you can't be good at a bad job. But no, there's a few things. There's a few quotes that I've got written throughout the night. I will say though, like to his credit, that there are a few things I can see. He was better than Double or Nothing.
Crickets.
Well, that's a silence that I'm not going to edit out. He was better than he was at Double or Nothing. I don't think there's any contest about that. He wasn't good.
At Double or Nothing, that I mean, I'm going to say I was going to wait until later on. But I'm going to say no. I don't think at Double or Nothing that JR said that he should be dropped on his frontal cortex in your brain, because he's during the match he said something about who was it now? It was Darby Allin being dropped on his head. And then JR just turned around to him and said, well, you should be. Pretty much.
No, I don't
I mean,
that.
I was just like, JR, did you just say that to him? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he's done a bit.
Yeah, I don't think they like each other, because I've got notes on
JR
Marvez's
doesn't
comments.
talk to him.
No,
If you
but
notice
Marvez
JR
makes a comment.
Can we talk about JR later? Because I love JR.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's when he come out, he didn't really want to connect with Marvez.
No, and
Anyway.
what I was saying then though is with Marvez, I think he did try a lot more in this one. I think he did his research a little bit more. Like, for example, in the
He did too
SCU
much research, because he knows when the fucking library opens.
Oh my! Don't get me started on that. What was that about?
This is exactly what I was about to say. So in the SCU Lucha Bros match, he actually makes a point of mentioning that Kazarian and Sky don't team as much as Kazarian and Daniels. So that may impact the way that they work together compared to the brothers who only wrestle with each other. But then, yeah, he does randomly start talking about the opening hours of the Jacksonville library in the first match. So it's kind of yeah, it's not all good. But before we move off him and into the first match, what I will say is
it's and tearing him to pieces.
well, this
please.
No, I'm about to. This, I know Mike will be happy with this at least. This is the last time now we will see Marvez on, I think, on this podcast, unless he's on a Dynamite or two. He isn't on commentary on Dynamite. I know that for a fact. But unless he's moved into his backstage role,
they pushed him onto Dark, have they?
No. He moved.
Pushed onto Dark.
He moved to an interviewer role.
Okay. Oh yeah, you know, I do remember seeing him in interviews.
Yeah, but after this pay-per-view, he's gone.
Okay.
There's no further commentary. The nicest thing that I'm gonna say and to give him credit for is he did an article for it was actually a podcast, the AEW Unrestricted podcast.
Oh yeah.
Moravez actually went into a lot of detail about what he called a failure of the commentary role. So he identified that. And he literally said that the whole experience for him was absolutely horrifying because he'd never done play-by-play before Tony Khan asked him to do it at Double or Nothing. And he didn't want to say no to Tony Khan because it was a massive opportunity for him. And obviously he wants to be able to impress the boss. So he was basically waking up at like 5 o'clock every morning to try to watch as much wrestling as he could because he didn't know the product. He was familiar with New Japan, but then nothing in the US whatsoever.
Okay, so I will say this. That does not make it sound better. It makes it sound like he had an opportunity for self-benefit that cost everyone else's experience.
I don't think there was anyone else available at the time, which is why he was offered.
Right.
And that's why he didn't want to let him down.
Right.
He also goes on to say as well that he, JR, and Excalibur had never called anything together before they did the matches. And he recognized that he wasn't good enough. And as soon as the opportunity was there, he moved away. And Tony Schiavone came in.
So we get it straight. The good thing you're saying about Marvez is that he's self-aware of how bad he is.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you have to give someone credit for that. There was things that we mentioned in the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, which he does mention in that same article. Like, for example, the being quiet all the way through. He had no idea how to actually change his volume to make it credible enough for commentary on a wrestling pay-per-view.
Interesting.
Like he mentions that Jericho is a little over the top, but he gets that because that's the person who he is, and it works that way. And Jericho actually gave him advice about his play-by-play and how to try to be a bit better about it. And like Excalibur was giving loads of tips. I don't think he mentions anything about JR in that.
JR probably couldn't be bothered with him.
No, but he does mention, obviously, like there was a big backlash on social media about his commentary. Yeah. So I feel a bit sorry for him in that respect, but you know, yeah,
yeah, all right.
Cool. It is what it is. Yeah. Like I said,
you feel bad now, Mike.
Not really, no.
No, if anything, Mike probably hates him more because of the article.
A little bit, yeah.
How dare that man come out and say the things that I've said about him? So, going back to the show, we have match number 1 to talk about on the pre-show. It's Sonny Kiss versus Peter Avalon. And holy shit, I need to cover this straight away. Avalon and Leva Bates have nuclear heat here. It's not even, it's go away heat.
Yeah.
I can't see it as anything else other than it's go away heat.
You want them to get out that ring, get backstage, get your stuff, and go away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was gonna say? I don't actually care about this match, right? I do not care if Sonny Kiss wins, but I'm invested in Peter's decimation.
I don't think it counts. I like I was looking through what we see on the podcast, and I don't think he's ever gonna have that beatdown that we want. I think they quite like him backstage. Him and Leva Bates. I'm going to go into it a little bit more later in the podcast. Anyway, there's an episode of Being the Elite, and I can't remember why I was watching. I think it was for the Brandy match, but there's an episode of Being the Elite, and it starts with Leva Bates talking to Matt and Nick Jackson backstage, and they do this weird to and fro where Leva makes it sound like she hates the librarian gimmick, and then turns around and says, I love it. Like, I'm getting such a great reaction from the crowd. And then Nick makes a joke of, we now need to push the librarians as much as possible.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, they're obviously self-aware of the fact that Like this isn't good heat. This isn't
Yeah,
a
bad
crowd
heat.
that
Yeah.
loves to hate someone or just wants someone to lose. This is I don't want to see you on TV.
Mm.
It's a
Also,
credit to them that it's an outdoor arena and the crowd managed to drown out the commentators with their boos and you suck chants.
Do you know what? Yeah, during the pre-show, that was the only time you could actually properly hear the crowd is when they're basically telling me sucks.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, it was an odd match. What I will say though is both of them did give it their all.
Mm. I mean,
Nothing.
yeah. I think Sunny Kiss should have. He's very athletic, and I think Peter was present. Yeah.
I think I got to credit him here. I think he actually didn't have a bad
no,
match.
no, I think that was a terrible match.
Do you?
That was a terrible
It was
match.
just a boring match, man.
It was.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
don't get me
was
wrong,
it
don't get
was
me wrong.
it was an opening pre-show match. Don't get me wrong.
No,
Oh,
like,
it
bro,
does.
that's not an excuse to have a boring match.
No. That should not have been an opening match. That should have been mid at best. That should have been in between an opening and the third or something like that. That should have been like a match you want to forget
It's like
about.
Well,
starting with a filler match. You know, that's not
Ah,
going
it
to
was
last long.
It's horrible.
yeah, no. It wasn't a good match to start a pay-per-view. I mean, the whole point of a pre-show is to hype the crowd up to
Yeah.
get them ready for
And I just
the
killed
main
the
event.
crowd. The crowd
And-
only starts when the pay-per-view actually starts.
Yeah, and I don't think even for the next match they were.
No, they don't. They don't. They're just dead. They are completely dead. I made a note of it.
I
So
think
I'm just
they're
glad-
dead for most. They're dead for most of this pay per view. I will say,
Hmm.
It's a bad crowd, but I think because I've heard Daily's Place plenty of times now, and they're loud as hell.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is if you saw the crowd every time the camera cuts to the crowd, they're waving themselves down with fans. It must have been so fucking hot there.
Yeah, I guess probably a factor too.
Quite possibly, but yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is it was a serviceable match if it was like a
Again,
dark match.
No. Oh, yes. If it was a dark match, it was a
Yeah.
great match.
But you got to remember that there isn't any TV time at the moment. So
Yeah.
I think Tony
But you
Khan
still
kind
know
of
what you still should know what's going to be shit and what's not. And this was really bad. It should not have been near a pay-per-view. Full stop.
no, yeah.
But then again, I guess it wasn't. Okay,
it is.
last joke.
No, I'm kind of going to go into it a little bit more in the triple threat tag match.
Hmm.
I think this match is a victim of Tony Khan wanting to get as many people on the show as possible. Because again, there's no TV time, there's no dark, there's no dynamite. They start in I think about 2 months' time.
But if you know, and I mean, from past times, the Liberian gimmicks appeared. It's not met with anything. It's met with boos and get the hell away. Why still book it? Why not think? Okay,
because you're paying them.
No, but it doesn't matter. He already knew he had no excuse to put Peter back on screen.
Yeah,
no
but
valid
again,
excuse.
He's paying them. He's got to use them.
It was ridiculous. I mean, I'm glad that Peter's promo got cut short with Sonny's extra huge entrance.
It was extra. That's definitely a way to.
Sunny Kiss is really extra.
Yeah.
I mean?
There is one. Literally, this is the only segment of the match I've written down. So obviously, as much as I'm saying like it was a serviceable match, I clearly wasn't paying that much attention to it, considering I have one piece of commentary. I actually have 4. One of them is about a crowd member screaming every time that Sonny had any offense.
Okay.
One of them is the finish was weird with no context.
I know. It was just like a kick to the face and then an avalanche splits. I want to describe it.
The splits, yeah.
Oh, is it
from the top rope?
Splitting leg drop. They call
Yeah.
it.
Was it okay?
Yeah. And then I had the Marvez giving information to Excalibur about the opening hours of Jacksonville Library.
I know.
And Excalibur replying with, "That's more information than I was expecting," and then just dead silence after that. But no, the only actual match note that I've made is Sonny Kiss made a beautiful arm drag into the splits, followed by a triple backhand spring into a slap.
That looked good.
Yeah. I want to see more of Sonny.
Do you know what it looked like? It looked like when Goku does it. That's the best way I can describe it. I will say I made one note of the match. Peter Avalon did one of Omega's signature moves. He did a rolling senton into a moonsault in the corner.
Really?
Yeah, identical. He missed it, of course, appropriately, but he did it. Yeah.
I suppose that's the difference between him and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but
Mm.
there's a pull apart brawl later on in the pay per view between Hangman and Chris Jericho. I never want to see Peter Avalon holding back someone like Chris Jericho or Hangman Page ever again.
Oh.
I'm sure it's Chris Jericho. I'm not going to go through my notes yet, but we'll get to it later in the pay per view. But
Okay.
I even wrote in like block capitals, "This should not ever happen under any circumstance." It was like just him.
So are we all in agreement that this Liberian gimmick needs to just
Die.
die?
Yeah, but it won't, not for a while. I think we see it again in the next pay per view. I want to say,
Really?
I believe so. That there's something that happens in the next pay per view. I'm just gonna quickly
So
double check.
deflating to hear that.
It's what it is. You're pumped to do this, and then you hear that, and you know you have to watch it. And
Yeah.
my guess is Jamie's going to give it to me to watch. You know, it's
I mean, now you've requested it, buddy. No, you're lucky. There is. I think this is it now, unless they're on the Dynamite episode, which they probably are. That's probably what they get relegated to. It was my first experience with them, is a backstage segment of shushing. Oh, no, sorry. Leva Bates is involved in the casino battle royale in All Out.
Okay.
Maybe she has Avalon with her, but I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. Got it.
But Avalon otherwise doesn't have a match in the next pay per view or the last pay per view in All Out. Sorry, Full Gear. So unless they have a match on one of the 3 Dynamites that we're watching, this could be the last time that we see them.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
been an adventure.
It has been. It has been. We have a lot of potential lasts in this.
Okay.
Only episode 3. We've obviously got.
We burned through everyone.
They're dropping like flies. Obviously, we have Marvez is gone.
Yeah.
I don't even think we see Sonny Kiss in the next couple of pay-per-views.
Okay, but yeah, Sonny Kiss is still. I think Sonny Kiss is still present in AEW now. Actually,
I think she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's it. That's all we have to say about the match. It was a serviceable match. If this was dark, yeah.
How bad is that? It was a serviceable match if it was in dark in the Circle pay-per-view. That is not okay. Like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, literally, my note just says, I thought they both worked. They worked hard. This is a serviceable match for dark, but this is Sonny's first singles match.
Could have put on screen. Like, nothing against Peter, right? But like,
yeah,
you're trying to build an audience for God's sake at this point.
You know, it's yeah, right. I guess it's not Peter. It's not Leva's fault. Did they choose their gimmicks, or did they get given those gimmicks?
I believe in AEW, especially at the beginning, it was you get more of a control.
I think it is 100% their fault. It's 100% their fault. You go to a Liberian gimmick, and
you tried to give him an hour, and he didn't get it.
I tried. It's 100% their fault. If you're going to get booed and like jeered every time you come out with that stupid Liberian gimmick, you need to have a word with yourself. We need to change like here. You know what I mean? We need to put these books down. You know what I mean?
There is a booking aspect though.
Breathe,
because...
Damien, breathe.
I mean, you're making Marvez do his Liberian opening times homework. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
I mean, this is the second time this has happened now, though, isn't it? Because was it Fyter Fest or Double or Nothing where we had Ali versus Leva Bates?
Fyter Fest.
It was Fyter Fest, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's 2 matches in a row now where we've had part of the Liberian gimmick forced on us. And yeah, the crowd are just selling it. Anyway, we get a short backstage interview with Cody and Dustin just before we move on to the next match.
No, we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I know what Marvez says.
We get Marvez telling us, and now backstage with
Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian.
Yeah, that's not Marvez's fault. There was loads of communication issues in this whole pay-per-view. Like at one point, JR just doesn't even know that he's about to go into the main event.
How do you not know you're about to go into the main event?
It's literally we have the Jericho Hangman segment, and then he's talking about like what we're doing next. Talks about the main event, and then goes, "What? We're going to the main event now?" and then I think it's Marvez is like, "Yeah, of course we're going to the main event, Jim." And Jared's like, he breaking his pen. I hate you, Marvez.
But no, yeah, when he said Kip Sabian, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then I saw Cody, I was like, oh, Kip's got a nice chiseled jawline there. What's going on?
I'm not sure if you guys noticed this as well, but they both asked how they can keep the Bucks on the mat, and Dustin just looks like he has a mini stroke and just like really weird motions with his arms. Like I just don't get what he's doing.
thing I remember from this interview is Cody going describing the Bucks
As new school.
as flippity flip.
Oh,
Yeah.
he also said that the Bucks are new school and the Rhodes brothers are old school, which is a cool line, except for the fact that Cody started his wrestling career after the Bucks. But, yeah, all right then, cool. The age of Wikipedia, folks.
Do you know Smoke? Cody completely dismissing talking about Sean Spears, the Sean Spears chance.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it?
I thought it was quite off. I was like, "Ooh, why is he brushed it off?"
There's
They're
a
probably
few
trying to ignore it.
things. No, they're not, because they have a match in the next
they
pay-per-view.
mention it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
they mentioned in this one. When
that match is already set.
Okay.
So it's
like he got
weird.
asked, and he completely just dusted it off, and then all you hear out of Dustin's mouth is, "You're only as good as we allow you to be." Just like, okay.
No, I agree though. It's
This guy's in a bad mood. Just back away.
Take your older brother home, Cody. he's on one.
It is weird storytelling though. The fact that he's just nowhere to be seen. He's in a match tonight.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And him and Cody have no interaction whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird. Obviously, the injury angle is changed the whole thing, but you had 2 weeks to prepare for this pay-per-view. Just change the story a little bit. Add like one thing where they interact in some way, shape, or form. They do the same thing at the end of this with the Lucha Bros when they challenge the Bucks to a match. The Bucks do not reference their challenging them to a match at the end of this pay-per-view. There's just like nothing. It's not until the end of the pay-per-view when it goes off the air that AEW actually make it official that it's a ladder match at All Out between the two teams.
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, just saying out now. I want that match. Okay.
Give me that match.
Worryingly, you said that as though you haven't watched that part of the pay-per-view yet. Oh fuck!
I love it. Worryingly, should we give a bit of backdrop onto this?
Yeah. So to give a bit of context, I'll give the context.
Okay, my bad.
So to give a bit of context to this, we have been trying to record this. No, actually, let me.
No, I would just cut it out.
Have been. Oh no, I'm not cutting anything, bitch.
Okay.
I'm rephrasing because I said we have been trying to record this when actually I have been trying to record this for the last week and a bit. Damien, Mike, they both have kids. The schedules are all out of whack, so we haven't really been able to do this. We're watching it in 2 parts. Now,
we have kids with each other.
Baby, fuck ugly kids, mate.
Yeah,
Anywho, so my prep phase when it comes to pay-per-view is I'll watch the pay-per-view about maybe 3 weeks in advance. It can take me a while, but I'll do it in bits. But I'll start my script, I'll start my research, I'll make sure everything's ready before the date that we set. So usually about 3 weeks out. These two watched the pay-per-view the other day. I'm pretty confident one of them hasn't finished the pay-per-view yet.
One.
I'm pretty sure both of them have not watched the pay-per-view yet. But we're recording this in 2 parts. So one on the Tuesday night, one on the Friday night. So if there's any drop in quality, if there's any audio differences, that's the reason why. And I will murder one of them.
Jamie,
if one of them,
a little secret.
If one of them disappears from the second half of this, they are dead because I have killed them because they haven't watched the end of this pay-per-view. What, Damien?
I've got a secret. To tell you.
What?
So the other day you messaged us going, "How far through the PPV are you?" And you did not
Son
get
of a
one.
bitch! Why are you throwing me underneath the bus with you?
You didn't get one reply back, did you?
I noticed.
I messaged Mike going, "So how far through are you?" He then sent me a picture of, "I'm editing my own video right now," and a load of like laughing faces. And I put, "Yeah, same. I haven't started either."
Oh. That was on the weekend for content. The original day that we were gonna record this, that was then. Unbelievable.
Like I had to throw you under the bus, buddy, because I knew you were planning to do it to me at some point.
What? Whoa!
Th-
Never even
this-
crossed my mind.
This podcast experience for me has been every time you hear about like kids in school and you get like paired in groups of 3 and one person does the whole thing on their own and then 2 other people come in at the last second and get all the credit. That is exactly what this feels like. So long and short of it is these 2 fuckers are lazy. And again, one of these 2 may not show up for the second half of this. So if they suddenly disappear, it will not be referenced. They will never be mentioned on this podcast again. And someone should send help, basically.
Back
Okay.
Yeah.
onto the right. So yeah, we had a little backstage with Cody and Dustin, not Kip Sabian, and then he went straight back out, and then Excalibur's like, "That wasn't Kip Sabian."
Yeah. Saw it as well. Oh.
I love the little dig. Anyway, on to match number 2, which is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Riho versus Bea Priestley and Shoko Nakajima. So this match was made official literally the day before the event. So again,
That makes so much
You can
sense.
tell.
I think I know what you're referencing to, Mike, and I'm going to come on to that in just a few minutes'
Okay.
time. It's so weird to see Britt and Riho thrown in a match together.
That
in a
was my
random tag
first
match.
note. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not they do tag because like Britt's not really. Is she a heel? Like right
At this
now?
point, I don't think she is. I
don't
think
think
she's
so.
kind of neutral. I
Yeah,
guess is the best way to describe it.
both Bea and Shoko are making their debuts in AEW, and might as well cover it here. Their AEW careers never really go anywhere from here.
I was going to say,
So-
I knew Bea Priestley didn't come back, but I never even heard of Shoko. So
Bea does feature in the next pay-per-view. In
Okay.
fact, she features in the next 2 pay-per-views.
I remember the time I was watching it, she wasn't there. That's what
Yeah,
I
so,
said.
she makes a couple appearances on Dynamite and Dark between the end of 2019 and the start of 2020, but she's
Okay.
gone from the company completely by March of 2020. I think it was because of travel restrictions due to COVID. That's the only excuse I can see. Well, in fact, there probably is a second excuse, and again, I'm going to come on to that in just a few minutes' time as well. Shoko, as well, only appears in 1 appearance after this, and to be honest, it's probably a match I'm going to go out and watch myself. It's an
Okay.
episode of Dark at the beginning of 2020 against Riho.
Oh,
Oh,
that would be good. It would, you know what?
They
This
worked
match has
really well
had-
together.
Yes, I was going to say
Yeah.
this match had a lot of bad movements, but those 2 together worked. Yeah.
Really, really well, yeah. And it's just odd that Shoko only shows up 1 more time. And that's it. There's that match. Apparently, they have a good 50 minutes on Dark. So I might actually go away and see if I can find that match. But with all 4 women in the ring, it's time for a match. And I say a match because it's not great, is it?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's really bad. Like there's a you tell me that it's got thrown last minute together makes sense because there's a genuine miscommunications between the wrestlers that at some times they're just fumbling with each other, not knowing whose turn it is next.
So anything involving Britt,
Yeah,
there's a reason.
yes. Okay, Brit. Yeah, particularly Brit and B.
Oh no,
together.
yeah. So Britt is genuinely concussed throughout this whole match because of B.
Oh,
So
when did
when-
she get concussed in the match?
When B gets tagged in for the very first time, it's her and Britt then in the ring together.
Yeah.
B comes in, kicks Britt straight in the back of the head, legitimately concusses her straight away.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
So
'Cause
so Britt for the entire match now is
she was
working.
scrambling to get her moves in, or like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
okay,
no, there's
wow.
the fisherman suplex. She couldn't grasp properly.
Yep.
She was trying, but she couldn't get
Yeah.
a hold of it. In the end, I think it was Shoko had to jump, like climb up and jump so she can try and get it off because she couldn't. I noticed I thought it was just boshy. It looked like she was just struggling to get a hold
Yeah.
and try and lift. She just couldn't do it.
So I think an audible was called at some point, which is why we see a lot more of Shoko and Riho than we do of
Okay.
Bea and Britt. Because the
I
whole
see.
point was, I think from here, they wanted to build a match between Britt and B.
Yeah, you could tell.
And yeah, the concussion threw that completely out. I actually don't think they have their match now because of that.
Okay.
And there's one point when Britt and B, they started to give really fucking stiff elbows to each other at one point in the match. That's Britt giving her a receipt.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
One point of this, though, the commentary, just going back to Marvez,
I knew what you were going to say.
is it the tag team reference?
Yeah.
So he turns around at one point and says that Britt really would want to see Riho lose the match as it helps her own cause to the AEW Women's Championship. I'm just sat there like, mate, that's not how tag teams work. If Riho loses, Britt loses. They are a team.
I missed that. I missed that
He, made
completely.
that, he said that several times that she really wants Rio just to lose here and
Yeah.
to beat. And it's
Do you know what I
no,
did?
she doesn't, because she loses.
Oh my god!
It's-
Do you know
it's
what I
just
got from
so
this
weird.
match?
What?
When Rio does a double stump, Marvel goes, "Ooh!"
I didn't hear that at all.
He makes some like comment about the person who wins this match is in the run up for the women's championship, and
No,
Excalibur
that's
has
it.
to
Yeah,
correct him. And
he
say, no, it's
says.
not.
He specifically says, "I think we can agree that whoever wins this match will be #1 contender for the championship." And Excalibur goes, maybe top 5."
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh man, do your homework, buddy.
Yeah.
Just say that in a tag match as well. The winner of this tag match is the upcoming runner for
He just
championship.
decided
It's a
that
tag
on
match,
his own.
Marvez. There's 2 winners.
In fairness, one of them will go on to become the women's world champion.
That's true, but still, he didn't know that.
Yeah,
No, he definitely didn't. Well, no, he wouldn't have known that. Tony Khan would have known it by now, but he definitely wouldn't have known it. And we get our first Tope Suicida.
Yeah, I got it. Tope Suicida.
Good old Shoko. It was a good Tope as well.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Do you know what? I really like Shoko, even when we don't see her, and I like how she basically looks like a character from Horizon Zero Dawn. That's what she looks like to me. But yeah, no, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Actually, it's a shame we don't get more of her.
After Tope Suicida, the crowd actually woke up for that match after that.
There was a few points they did. They were mostly quiet, but when Britt and B first faced off, crowd popped massively. They were definitely into the sight of Britt versus B. And that's when they just both started smacking shit into each other with elbows. And with the Tope as well, they actually came alive with all the Topes. I think I like to think that Tony Khan, after the first pay-per-view, after all 4 of, I think it was 4 we had in the first one. I think 4 in the first, 4 in the second, and I won't give it away yet, but there are a few in this one. I like to think that Tony Khan is like hearing the crowd pop to a Tope Suicida, and he's like, yes. That's what my show needs.
Can I just say, at one point in the match, Riho is exchanging shots with Shoko. And I know Shoko is short, but she's still quite, got mass compared to Rio because everyone does. And I just don't think Rio should ever be exchanging like blows with anyone because I love Riho, right? But like she should not be exchanging shots with anyone because she would lose in every scenario. It's just And do you know what? Yeah, Riho is an amazing seller, right? That's like literally one of her highlights, right?
Yeah.
Super flexible, incredible seller. She didn't sell any of the shots, and I was like, what?
I think though, if Riho is going to have that sort of one-on-one shot for shot, it's going to be with someone like Shoko.
Yeah, but like not even like Riho. She was literally standing still, like she wasn't feeling a single thing. Like she hulked out during the blow for blow.
I haven't watched many Rio matches, but does she normally do the blow exchange in her matches?
No, not really.
And
maybe a few hits, and then she usually is the one that loses out of the.
Maybe she just doesn't know how to do the exchange and just feels really uncomfortable with it. Maybe.
Well, I mean, she's been wrestling since she was 14.
I was going to say she's really experienced. I think it's a choice.
I'm just sticking up for people, you know.
She is the most experienced in this match, but by far, I think.
No, it shows. It does show.
But Shoko picks up the win by pinning Riho clean. Clean.
Yeah.
Not even some sort of dusty finish. It's pinning her clean. This is the woman who in 2 months' time is going to be winning the AEW Women's Championship.
Maybe they hadn't decided that yet. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe they thought Shoko fucks off in like 5 months now. That's it. So we got someone pinning one of your main women and then never showing up on AEW again except for one episode of Dark.
That's the way to do it, though, isn't it? pin the main woman and just leave.
Before we move on from this, I just want to say Riho did a Northern Light suplex and it was incredible looking.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was such a good, just a well executed Northern Light suplex. Yeah, but she arced her back like only Riho could. I
really did enjoy this match. I did. It was a shame because it did look quite disjointed.
It lost momentum, but now that you're telling me that Britt was concussed, it makes a lot more sense.
100% because of that. The match. Yeah. I think the whole match plan went out the window as soon as she was concussed. Because you can tell there was so much of Britt versus Riho versus Shoko. I think that was just the reason why. But I still enjoyed the match. I
Mm.
thought the crowd at the end, at least, were hyped up much more than they were in the first match.
The start of that match to go like at least half of this match, the crowd was just not present.
No, but again, we get that quite a bit
Mm.
throughout this pay-per-view. In fact, I think I vaguely remember writing something in here about they only pop about like 10 times the whole pay-per-view. But again, it wasn't a good crowd. But Mike, what do you think about the match?
I enjoyed it. There were a few notes I wish I've mentioned. I didn't mention that I thought Shoko pulled off a terrible 619. Just horrendous.
It was bad, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was a few do you know what? It's just like the match in general. I think maybe because their plan went out the window, there was a lot of mistakes. Like Riho going to a turnbuckle, and she was meant to she gets through into the turnbuckle, and she's meant to go over the rope, but she trips and lands on the apron and has to get herself back up. And there was loads of little moments like that. So yeah, I think Britt obviously has an excuse for being concussed, but I think it threw everyone else off as well.
Yeah, quite possibly.
So I enjoyed the match. I still would struggle to say it was a good match. It was a match that had moments. I would
say that match should have opened the buy-in.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Should have
100%. Yeah, I just don't believe that other match should have been on the card full stop. So it's
no,
anything should have started over it.
100% agree with you, buddy. No, it shouldn't have been on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was, and you
Well,
got to, and you got to watch it. Anyway, we go backstage for actually Kip Sabian, who was doing an interview, which really, to be honest,
Really
did nothing for
long.
me.
Really long, not interesting, lack of personality in that interview.
It was literally like, I'm trying to think. It felt like he was just reading off a card. Someone was stood holding the card. He was reading off it.
Yeah,
and he was trying to give it his promo attitude, and it just wasn't paying off.
Do you know what's worse? I think Peter Avalon was better on the mic than Kip Sabian.
Well, I think Peter Avalon's actually more experienced than him at this point.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure at this point, Kip Sabian is relatively new. He, I think, debuted in Ring of Honor and did a few UK indie shows, but AEW is his first major pay-per-view, first major company.
Okay.
But before that, he wasn't featured anywhere properly or pushed properly. Yeah, and when you compare it to what he's like now, like
I was going to say,
you can see
he's
massive improvement.
He's found who he is now, and he's awesome to watch on screen.
Yeah, he is. He really is. But here it was quite robotic. He talks about the fact that it did make me laugh. He says that when Hangman beats Jericho for the title, because Kip's going to beat Hangman tonight, he'll be first in line for a title shot. Which are two things that I can categorically say will not happen.
Yeah. It's an interesting logic, to be fair. Because surely if he was going to be Hangman...
You've beat him, therefore I'm up next. It's just, no.
Well, wins and losses do mean a lot in AEW, and if someone that is in a title match
at that point
does have a loss against someone, then reasonably speaking, you can think that the person that does have that win could go in to face Jericho.
But did it at that point? It's so early on. I'm not sure
I think it does. Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure there was a comment during the pay-per-view that where they were saying about wins and losses, which is why Marvez made that very poor comment of why he would want why Britt would want Rio to lose is because she has worse stats than Britt. Which of course she wouldn't, because she would have the exact same stats as Britt. But they are pushing it already at this point. And with that being said, it's time to start the pay-per-view. And it's time for our opening video of the night. So I really liked that video. It was a bit long, but I really, really liked the opening video. What do you guys think?
Too long?
Too long.
Yeah,
really?
I thought to myself it was too long. Yeah, I didn't get bored. It wasn't long enough to get bored, but it was too long.
It was long enough for your mind. No, it was. I know what you're trying to say. It wasn't long enough for you to lose complete interest, but it was long enough for your mind to start wandering elsewhere.
Yes, that's exactly how I would describe it. Yeah, they tried to cover too much in the 3-minute video.
It did cover a lot because it literally went from like building up this pay-per-view, like, oh, this is great. Like we get a recap of what's happened before, and then it goes into every single match.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
For the people watching on YouTube, that video should have been on there. It may have been taken off We'll have to see what happens with the copyright this time because we kind of got
we're
copyright
trying to
strike the
avoid
last two videos.
claims. Well, claims, not strikes. Let's say
Yeah,
claims.
just
Big
copyright
difference.
claims. Yeah, we had two in the
Yeah.
last two of the main episodes, so we're kind of trying to avoid that now. But
Going
it's
for
not
free
really
for free.
it's not really a problem in this one because the fight for the fallen videos are nowhere to be found. I literally
Okay.
can't find them on YouTube. So if for whatever reason the videos aren't here, it may not because of copyright strike. It's because they're literally not on YouTube. So I'll have to find them somewhere else if I can. But we'll see. Anyway, we get on to match number 3, which is MJF, Sammy Guevara, and Sean Spears versus Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. It feels a bit thrown together again, doesn't it?
It does, but part of me was also like, we got 3 of the pillars. We got the current world champion MJF. We got the current TNT champion Darby. It's kind of in that sense, from our current present position, kind of enjoyed it just for that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do get what you mean. I mean, for me, I'm trying to not think about what we have now too much. I'm looking at what the product was at the time.
I mean, it's hard to
And
we're looking at it from a point of view where you know where the product is at.
true, but Damien doesn't.
No, Damien doesn't.
Damien watches
That's
very
true,
little
which is
AEW.
why he's here as of fresh eyes.
Very true. Yeah, very true.
No, I will have to say it did seem really, really thrown together. Like, at any point, have any of these guys ever been a team at all
No,
in the build up to this at any point in time?
not before this. But this is this is
Right.
like the second, third pay-per-view.
No,
Yeah,
I'm talking about not just PvP, but any episode at all of
There's
AEW.
no episodes yet.
No.
Dynamite.
He means from then until now.
No, he literally means if there's any Dynamite.
No, I
Dynamite
meant
hasn't started yet, dude.
previous to the PvP. Okay, right.
Oh
well,
no.
then
There was no TV at all. When I
Well,
said
yeah,
earlier,
what you've seen is all there's
Yeah.
been.
when I said earlier in the podcast, there's no TV time. There is literally no TV show for AEW right now. Dynamite,
Right.
which we're covering on the podcast, that'll be episode 5. Dynamite's first episode is on the podcast. That's the
Okay,
main
right.
AEW show. So that's
But still
coming in.
stand by it. It does seem really thrown together. It's almost like
Well, it was.
we need a 6-man tag. You, go.
It's not that actually. This is a typical Tony Khan TK move where he wants to
Okay.
get as many people on the screen as he can. So then
Mhm.
during pay-per-views, you'll get these matches where there's loads of people thrown into a match to try and get everyone on screen.
Yeah, kind of. I did a bit of
Okay.
research into this match beforehand, and as far as I can see, it was announced on episode 2 of the Road to Fight for the Fallen YouTube series on the Nightmare
Okay.
Family channel. I watched the episode to see if maybe there was like story that was building up to it. Literally, no. There's an
Okay.
there's an announcement video, which is just the actual match card flashed
Mm.
up in the middle of that episode, and that's it. There was no other explanation at all other than these 6 are having a match.
So again, just thrown together for the sake of it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm going to say right now, Sammy Guevara coming out in an outfit that has Dragon Ball Z characters stitched onto it. He is not a heel, unless obviously he thinks like the Garlic Jr. saga is the best Dragon Ball arc of all time.
No, also
Other
he
than
had
that, though,
an
he's not a heel.
amazing music track coming out.
No, he
Yeah,
did.
well, that was his original one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Compared to what he's got now, I'm not sure what he changed, but yeah.
Yeah. Darby Allin, just a note as well. If you noticed, he's still bandaged up from his
Yeah.
fight with Cody.
Mhm.
Although I think Excalibur, as soon as Darby got into the ring, he like clutched his ribs because he had bandages all over it. And Excalibur said, I think without even noticing, Darby Allin feels no pain. It's like he's grimacing right now in pain.
Oh.
But yeah, I thought the match was, at least at the very start, was kind of just like a straight up 6-man tag match, which I thought was quite surprising, especially with like Janela and Darby there. I thought it was going to be just everyone's in all the time.
I expected more from Janela in this match. I must say, like,
Really?
on the hype that I've read about him, you know, what I mean, in the previous match with Moxie as well, what they're saying about him, I expected more of like more brutal, like jumping in whenever he can, not really adhering to any rules.
Well, I mean, Janela fucking almost murdered Guevara with a snap suplex to the bottom turnbuckle. It looked disgusting.
You know what?
Oh no, yeah.
No, Janela tries to kill Sammy twice in this match. I marked it.
There's
right?
a second time?
Yeah, the turnbuckle one, right, which you've mentioned.
Mhm.
And I'm going through my notes, right, because I'll find it. Where is it? Here we go. Janela almost killed Guevara with a Death Valley driver on him on the apron. Yeah, he basically
Oh,
does
yeah,
separate
he did. It
driver.
was right at the end of the
Yeah,
match, wasn't it?
yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, right at the end of the match. And I'm just like, twice he tried to kill Sammy in
Did,
the
did,
match.
did you catch what he said straight after?
No.
He flipped off the camera and shouted, "Fuck you, Cornette."
Oh no. There was some weird moments in this. Like one of them, it was MJF is in the ring and MJF is pointing behind the referee. He's going ref, 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 and the referee actually turns around so MJF can just pull an eye poke. And I'm just like, seriously, ref, that is legit what I do to my young child to just trick him into things. Oh
I thought it was cool that we got a little tease of what Sammy and Darby could do in the ring together.
yeah, that's true.
Huge points to Sammy, man, for his two-piece suicida.
He did a two-piece
Second-
suicide, yeah.
Your person will see
Second
that.
I told you, man,
second
that
one
the
of
guy
the
can't
night.
be heel.
Right,
He's-
but
he's-
then
he's-
proceeded. He proceeded to dive in and out of the ring, and never 3 times, one after another.
Yeah,
Do you guys
you
They
know
notice
what?
that?
They
He
weren't
wasn't
they
heel
weren't
when I started
two-piece,
watching it. He wasn't heel, so maybe this is why he's not heel at the beginning. I realize he's like, yeah,
Well, we got to remember as well, there is other stuff going on in the background. Like AEW at the moment, the only thing that they have to progress the storylines is everything that goes on in Being the Elite and
Yeah.
on the Nightmare Family
Yeah.
YouTube series. So
Oh,
we are probably missing some story developments with characters.
okay. I will
But-
mention. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I don't think Sammy was actually at the last pay-per-view, was he?
No, I don't think he was. I was gonna say moments. Sean Spears got tagged in boos. Like this is a quiet crowd throughout the pay-per-view. Okay, but the boos for Sean Spears were like they were awake.
Yeah. I mean, I really kind of like the fact that I still think it's odd that MJF is kind of, he is a heel, but there's still some aspects of him staying with Cody, who Cody is already portraying or trying to portray himself as a babyface, but also having heel tendencies.
Mm.
I did like the fact that, despite the fact that MJF and Sean Spears were having their to and fro all the way through the match, it was actually Darby Allin that ruined this match for his team. The fact that he did the blind tag and then ended up eating the pin.
Oh yeah, never really thought about it. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it was the babyface team that ended up ruining themselves basically because Darby got that blind tag on Jimmy, came into the match, literally got pinned.
Yeah, I will. So this is gonna be mentioned. Marvez has two moments in this that I've recorded. The first one is Janela early in the match is rolling around the ring. Okay, doing like he's rolling around with wrestlers and stuff. And Marvez makes a comment that he's rolling around the ring because he can't walk due to the thumbtacks he took in the last pay-per-view in his foot. Okay?
That's a good comment.
How was that a good comment?
It is a good comment.
Walked to the ring.
But he did take the thumbtacks. Let's remind the fans what Janela did literally 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and then the second one, and there's multiple moments where I believe JR must hate Marvez, okay? So JR says, and to be fair, JR's comment is weird. So I believe, I can't remember who it was, but they're getting their heads smashed into the turnbuckle over and over again. And JR says turnbuckle needs a bit of barbecue sauce, right? And Marvez responds to him, totally serious, what do you know about barbecue sauce? And then JR quietly whispers, oh, I don't know. And that's it. That just ends there. It was so awkward.
Yeah, that definitely was the end of their friendship.
Yeah.
And definitely the end of Marvez's
line
commentary.
in the
Like,
sand
why would you
right
call
there.
him out on that?
But no,
Oh my
I
God.
did enjoy this match. I don't know if you guys noticed, MGF was pretty absent at the end of the match.
Yes, he spent most of the time on the apron, the last bit of it, like
So-
on the outside.
So you'll see more of MGF over the next pretty much the whole podcast. He's I'm sure on every single episode now up until
Nice.
the end of season 1.
Nice.
You'll notice with MGF he has a very particular style of wrestling, which is minimalist, but it works for his character.
Yeah, it
So-
really does.
Him being outside of the ring for most of it at the end of the match, that just worked to his character. He's actually injured. He injured his elbow during the match.
Oh, which move?
I have no idea.
Reckon it was the forearm he gave Janela, because that was
Quite possibly.
like, it was quite, the connection was there.
Yeah, I don't know when he got injured. It may have been the forearm, but yeah, he was injured by the end of the match, which is why he just had no involvement from a certain point onwards, whereas everyone else was getting their spots in.
That makes sense, but then going back to what you said, it suited his character. I didn't even blink an eye. I didn't think
No.
twice that why is he down there? It just, it's MJF, he's down there. Yeah, all right. he's not interested at the minute. Like, I mean, like he didn't want Sean Spears going in at any point. He didn't want to tag back in. He
Mhm.
was so like you said, it suited them to the ground, like being there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I didn't notice it myself. It wasn't until
No, I
because
didn't
I
notice
was
it.
positive there was something wrong with Britt in that first match, so I googled it,
Okay.
and I found an article to say that 2 AEW stars were injured,
Oh,
and
okay.
one of them had the picture of Britt. So I was like, oh, obviously she was injured. I wonder who
Okay.
the other one was.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
said MJF, and I was like, oh, what? And I went
Okay.
back and I tried to watch the match, and I literally couldn't see where he was injured.
Okay.
So
You know what I will say? This match, I forgot how good Sammy actually is when he gets going.
yeah,
Like he did a standing Spanish fly and just looked incredible. He's just good, but like you don't see it in the same way nowadays. So it's like yeah, it's like a reminder. He's actually really good in ring.
he did that standing Spanish fly literally straight after the Tope Suicida. He literally gets back in the ring. Oh
I
no,
mean, they're
sorry.
all written down in my notes one after the other. So yeah, probably.
Yeah, he literally gets straight back in the ring, does a standing Spanish fly on Darby, hits the 2 count, and that unglued the fans.
Hmm.
They popped massively straight after that. They were pretty much into it for the rest of the match.
Which ended
Odd,
soon after.
yeah, odd to see 2 Death Valley drivers one after the other, because Janela hit the Death Valley driver on Sammy on the apron,
Yeah.
and then literally 30 seconds later, Spears hit the Death Valley driver on Darby to get the 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. So it was a bit of odd.
I guess I didn't really communicate today, so since it was probably thrown together last minute.
Yeah. Again, I can't see anything past, I think it was like 3 days before.
Mm.
So I'm not really sure
But
what's
still,
going on.
it was 6 man, and at no point did it get chaotic. It was quite organized for 6 man, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't
Everybody
chaotic
was
one bit.
when the spotlight was on someone, it was on them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is hard normally, 6 man.
It's definitely better to do it this way than the matchup that I thought we were going to get of the sort of tornado tag rules where everyone's in at the same time, because that would just devolve to a mess straight away, especially with
Yeah,
so
it's
many
too
different people in
messy.
there. Yeah.
At what point does the commentary team stop talking about Darby Allin's past? Because it seems to be every time he comes down, they mention it.
I don't think
Did
they do it
mention
now.
again?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Yeah.
I missed
It was
that.
literally as he was coming to the ring.
Okay.
Literally, his uncle's dead.
That's
Oh my God.
literally what it is. The moment he steps out onto the walkway, it's straight away. And let's not forget that his uncle died right in front of him. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
there's no
literally.
need.
I
Like,
think it was
you've said
JR,
this.
wasn't it?
It was JR, yeah.
But he's obsessed. He's obsessed with
He's trying to
Darby
mentally
Allin's
break
dead
him
uncle.
down.
Terrible.
Oh,
Absolutely terrible. We get Jabali cameo. Remember Alex Jabali, guys?
yeah,
Remember
that was
his
kinda nice.
amazing, at least a 4-star match in the last pay-per-view.
The man tried to drown someone.
I was literally watching the short that we did of that match. Bryce Rimsberg is he makes that match for me. I think Bryce Rims, the referee, he's so funny. I absolutely love him. But yeah, we get the Alex Jabali cameo, which is I thought was really weird at the time, but there is.
I liked it. I liked the fact that JR called him a jabroni.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. He called him a jabroni. I was like, nice.
We also get Private Party in the crowd, which kind of made me sad because, I mean, they could have had a match with anyone on the card, and it probably would have been a better match than most of the stuff that we got tonight. So that was a bit of a shame to see them just there. Anyway, match number 4 is Brandy Rhodes versus Ali. So this one was one of the earlier matches confirmed in AEW. So this one was actually confirmed before Double or Nothing.
Okay.
And I must say, I'm not looking forward to this match.
And it was the worst match here by far. And I mean, that's coming from the pre-show one wasn't great to begin with, but I think this was worse.
Yeah,
I've got almost 0 notes for this because I was just waiting for it to end.
Yeah, I wasn't. I can't remember who I gave this match to, but as soon as I saw it on the card, I knew I wasn't going to be the one that was going to be paying that much attention to it. I probably, because I don't think I've seen a Brandy match, to be honest, and I've seen Ali. And
I have never seen a Brandy match, and I thought with her being with Cody, she might be a good wrestler, but she really is not.
Oh, she really isn't. Her movement is so out
She's
of place.
A really bad wrestler. Like, wow.
Yeah, and
genuinely is.
Yeah, the video package
Oh
was
my days!
confusing
Don't
as hell as well.
that. Wait, sh sorry, I'm cutting you off. I know, but the
No, go on.
video of her
He's
just
angry.
pouring her heart out, crying,
Yeah.
me on this. Oh wow, she's face. Okay, cool. All right, let's see how she's good.
Hmm.
See how this goes. And then comes out and she's
Full on heel.
100% hill.
Yeah.
And it's just, well, why give you a video promo like that then?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean,
You know,
the video package was an edited version of what was on that the same Road to Fight for the Fallen that I mentioned earlier. So that one had, and I shit, you know, it was about 15 minutes of Brandy talking about like her past and how she got into wrestling and how people perceive her and how she's trying to overcome that. And it's a really good video package. Like
okay.
honestly, like I suggest you guys go and watch it
Hmm.
if you can because it is really really good. I thought, wow, and then like this video happened. I thought, well, it's you know kind of the same things. Like Ali got to say like line, I think. Um, and then yeah, Damien's right. Literally, she just comes out and boom, heel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
I mean,
got. Yeah,
Awesome
go on.
Kong came out as well before the start of the match,
Yeah.
and I thought there was going to be another bait and switch,
Hmm.
but no, we are
No.
we are getting this match, and
I've got.
We're-
I've got 3 highlights from this match. Yeah, I'm just gonna share
Mhm.
them.
yeah, go for it.
The bunny. Oh, sorry, Ali. Is she called the bunny yet? Because in my head, she's
No,
always the
she's Ali.
bunny. Right, Ali does a dragon sleeper. It's a really nice looking dragon sleeper.
Hmm.
I enjoyed that. And then the fans shouting, "You suck, Brandy."
Yep.
Did you hear the what? I caught one person from the crowd shouting something very specific.
Oh no, what
I'm wondering
was
if
it?
so the crowd were pretty much silent. So
Yeah.
whenever they were chanting, it was just to shit on Brandy. That
Yeah.
was it. But there was one point where I think that both Ali and Brandy were on the outside and they both came back
Okay.
into the ring. The crowd were dead. And I heard someone, a sole voice in the crowd,
Oh
shout,
no.
"You're just a jumped up figure skater, Brandy." Just
Oh.
loud. It's like, dude,
Right,
time
and
and a
this
place.
right, and Marvez was the highlight of this match for me.
Wow.
Now,
Go on, go
did
on.
anybody quote him here? Because you might have the same quote as me if you did.
I
I
not gonna
don't
lie,
have
I
any
haven't really got much
Marvez.
written for this match.
Okay, here we go.
To,
Marvez says,
to be honest, I'm pretty sure, like at a certain point in this match, I was just so bored that my brain had totally switched off.
so this is video on the match, but basically it's literally the first note I have. So
Hmm.
basically he's trying to basically say, you know what, Brandy's okay, she did this, she did that, and then he pauses and he puts, she's okay looking, and JR
Wow.
giggles to himself. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
Marvez trying to get on JR's good side.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
basically slightly complimenting, and
Mm.
he's like, he's okay looking, I suppose. It's
Oh,
just like, wow, dude.
No.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure the same guy that shouted "You're just a jumped up figure skatey Brandy" also led a one man "Let's Go Ali" chant later on in the match as well.
nice.
Like I was literally sat there, and I could hear just one person go "Let's go Ali, let's go
Oh,
Ali" just over and over again, and then he just finally shut up.
Yeah, but that's almost as bad as trying to start a slow clap and no one actually joining you.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
yeah. Just it was a hard watch. The crowd were no selling any
Well,
offense that Brandy had.
yeah.
let's just
I felt a
skip
bit
to
bad
what
for
we got
Ali as
teased
well.
then.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Even that was boring.
so we had two things basically. We obviously had the tease between Ali and Kong. I mean, that was something that was definitely teased with Kong on the outside trying to cause distractions all the way through the match. We'll never get that match, never
Okay.
at all. After the match, so it's just Brandy wins, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah. No one cares, but yes. In case you're wondering, folks, Brandy won.
yeah. It was, by the way, hitting the worst spear I've
That's what it
ever
was.
seen.
I didn't
No,
mark how
that
she
was a
won.
spear.
And yeah,
Yeah, it was a spear.
It came out of nowhere. It's like they decided, you know what, we need to end this match, and she just speared her and pinned her, and that was it.
Yeah,
It was like a spear, but she made 2 steps into it.
yeah,
She didn't
Yeah.
run or anything. It was 2 steps in and spear.
yeah. It was awful. There's just like no power behind it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I just think Ali's better than this, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
she obviously had the Lever Bates match, but you can see Ali look better than that as well. And she's just had two. This is the second
I mean, yeah.
women's singles match.
Is it? God.
Yeah, because we obviously had the first one, which is
So-
Lever Bates and Ali,
Yeah.
and then this is the second one. And
And-
fuck, they
and
can
you know
do
what it
so
makes
much
me think?
better.
During the post match, Excalibur says It's talking about AEW, and he's like, "We have a massive women's roster," and I'm like, "No, you don't. Not right now. You don't. Absolutely no. You barely have a roster for them."
The other thing that they tried to tee up, which would have been amazing, is Awesome Kong versus Azure Kong, who comes out at the end of the match, and we get this face-off between Awesome Kong and Azure Kong. This is Azure's last appearance in AEW.
That makes sense. I didn't know of her at all before the podcast, so makes sense she
Yeah.
didn't stay long.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen that match.
I would definitely have liked to
I
see
would
Yeah,
that
it
match.
it should have been a
loved to see
good
it.
match.
But yeah, this is it. Brandy doesn't have a. This is she might show up again, but this is her last match on the podcast. Brandy's. Her next match is, I think, in January, so about 6 months after this. And AEW Dark really can't come quick enough for her. If this weren't for the podcast, I would have skipped it.
No, okay.
This is a piss break match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was. Yeah.
Let's move on to slightly bigger and better things. Actually, no, it's the match number 5,
Yeah.
which is the Dark Order. So Evil Uno and Stu Grayson versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Angelico and Jack Evans in a 3-way tag team match. Literally, again, announced 2 days before the pay-per-view. And again, the same as Fyter Fest. The winner of this match gets a first-round bye into the World Tag Team tournaments. But again, all of these teams are actually involved in that tournament anyway, so it's kind of pointless. But I guess they just kind of got to have some sort of stakes on this pay-per-view because there really isn't that much to play for in this pay-per-view at all.
I'm very
wondering.
I'm wondering when Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus start becoming Jurassic Express, because they've already got the theme.
It's soon.
I love what JR said when Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy come down with Marco Stunt. He goes, it's one boy and his dinosaur and his boy. So two boys and their dinosaur.
There was another comment. I don't know who made it, but it said Luchasaurus knew Jungle Boy when he was Jungle Kid. It's just like, come on.
I think that was Excalibur.
Was it?
Yeah,
I think it was Marvez. Because Marvez actually points out what the putties are called. They're called creepers.
Yes.
Which is worse than putties somehow.
Right.
Okay.
I actually don't know which one is worse.
And what cracks me up is when Marvez goes, when the Dark Order comes down and the putties creepers. No, they're called the putties. We're doing the podcast. The putties. The putties come down and he do the things. The minions are actually prefer to be called the creepers, and the creepers have now crept off. And JR just looks at him, and I can't remember what he said. He says, he goes, "Did you really just say the creepers just crept off?" But he said it in such a disgusting tone. Like he was genuinely upset with Marvez for saying that.
I think the best point of that is like the creepers must have got together at one point and they're just like, we're not happy being called the creepers. We need to tell the commentators to call us the creepers. And they're like write little match notes for them. Which I like to think are written in crayon and just like scribbled up paper. But no, I really like this match, in fairness. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are over. They really are over as hell.
There was some crowd they all love them.
Yeah.
Specifically, Luchasaurus got really big pops.
Yeah. Well, he got the hot tag in there, didn't he?
Yeah, true. He destroyed everyone at one point.
Oh God, I just realized as well. Marvez did a. It wasn't his fault, but obviously when the Dark Order come out, they are known as being from parts unknown. Marvez accidentally revealed that they're from Canada. If the Dark Order couldn't have been already like just ruined for me, knowing that they're just from Canada, like,
do you know what? Yeah, there was some incredible tag team moves in this match. Like Hybrid 2 doing the assisted 450. That was like the standing 450, and then Dark Order doing a move called Fatality.
Oh my days!
That move was incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm thinking, like the AEW game will come out eventually. It's like, if we ever do a tag team or whatever, I'm gonna use all those moves because they're incredible.
There was one line that Excalibur said in this match, and I just thought it was such a great line. Luchasaurus got the hot tag, and the crowd popped massively, but he hits a choke slam, and Excalibur immediately goes, "A choke slam back to the Crustaceous." Wow, that's a line.
Oh wow, bravo,
guys! The best combo move in that whole match was the powerbomb combo by Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
That's their finisher.
Yeah, That's the finisher.
Oh, it
You'll
was
see it
just
loads. You'll see it
wow!
loads.
It
Yeah,
was
it's incredible.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
Dark
it
Order,
is that good. Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever seen Dark Order in action.
Mm.
Grayson, top wrestler, amazing.
No,
Una not
I
so
think
much.
this is the first time I've seen Stu Grayson as well. Because I think he's gone now, isn't he? He's
I
not
was
in
gonna say the
AEW.
ironic part. He was the first one to let go out of the Dark Order.
Yeah.
He was so good, and like he plays his character well. I mean, and his style of wrestling suits that character. It's just brute. It's brawl. It's a brawler. He's just
Mm.
gonna go in there and hurt you.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Although he was
I
quite
thought he was
athletic
amazing.
as well.
I
But,
mean,
he did do like an over the rope senton to the apron
That
on Jungle Boy.
was amazing. I
Yeah.
got that.
he,
Literally, I
he
got
landed
that
on his
written
feet.
down.
Yeah, I know as
I
well.
got it written
Yeah.
down. Grayson is a very aggressive wrestler, and it definitely suits the character. Impressive senton. If we were to put those together.
I-
That's literally what I wrote.
What one of my notes, and I put stars around it just so I have it, is Jungle Boy is fantastic because he really was fucking amazing. Like I've known he's good for a while now because obviously current AEW, but
Mm.
when he's talk about like all the pillars and things like that,
Yeah.
knowing Jungle Boy was there from the start and he was this good at the start,
He needed
like
it.
his in-ring work at this point is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's on
I
point.
think-
It's on point.
I think it's at Double or Nothing. I actually put Jungle Boy as my MVP for the night, and this match again just backed why I put him as my MVP. Of like his showcasing is just amazing. He just shows you what he's got, what he's capable of, and it's flawless, pretty much. To me. Do you guys catch the little back and forth between, well, not back and forth, but what J.R. Marvis said about the Dark Order?
Oh no, go on.
No.
Marvis let us know that the Dark Order is mad at the world. This is halfway through the match where Marvis just comes out of a bit of spiel about the Dark Order, letting us know a bit more background. He just says, "Oh, they are mad at the world. This is what they want to show everyone how angry they are. They don't care. They'll rip for everyone." And JR replies with, "They should be mad at their parents."
Fucking hell.
What?
Jim.
Oh, I will say one thing happened. Like a really stupid thing happened in this match. Referee's in the ring, completely conscious, completely aware. Marco comes in and just starts doing moves.
Dude, I wrote this as a note as well. The referee was so inconsistent all match.
Yeah, he was just like, you know what? Let the guy do his thing.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
what?
Like I've actually written this down. So like a non-legal man came into the ring who's a part of this match, and the ref's like, whoa, get out of the ring, get out of the ring now, get out of the ring. And then just fucking Marco Stunt just comes in, does some moves, and the ref's literally stood there like, all right. And it's not until the damage is done and Stunt is already out the ring, the referee's like, you're out of here. And I'm like, dude.
After Luchasaurus used him as a battering ram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the ref's afraid of Marco Stunt or something. No, it was a fantastic match. Dark Order got the win, and possibly with the worst reaction you can get in wrestling, which is just pure silence.
Yeah. I was
it's
disappointed by the crowd at that point. Yeah.
The crowd wanted Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy to win. It was clear all the way through the match. They were just popping at everything they do. We got to mention and Hadako and Jack Evans in this as well, because we've been very much Dark Order.
Oh,
and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
I was literally about to bring them up.
They were fucking great as well. Really good.
They were better. Was it Double or Nothing? We saw them at last.
They were at the Double or Nothing, the triple threat tag match.
Yeah, they were better then than they were last night. I felt like that they were very. It's weird. It's almost they had ring rust with each other. They weren't in sync.
They had more time in that last match, I'd say. This match, I think, to me, it kind of devolved into
they were
two
kind
teams.
Of punching bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, they were kind of like everyone's would just punch them out of the way, get out of the way. Because at one point as well, they didn't want to get in the ring either.
They were kind of like the whole comedy.
But at Double or Nothing, I thought they were great.
Yeah, there was another bit when I think it was Jungle Boy was trying to get a hot tag in to either Angelico or Jack Evans, and the Dark Order just took him out in their corner. But yeah, like I said, Dark Order got the win. Fans weren't happy with it. As far as I can tell, they were completely silent. They may have been happy with it, but they may have just been cheering internally.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking about the whole Hybrid 2 being kind of like punching bags. If you take into account that Marco was basically assaulting them and it just got beaten down, that basically is a statement in itself. That's that basically.
Yeah, in fact, unless they're on a Dynamite, I don't think they're on the podcast again. I think this might be the last for them as well.
Okay.
That's the game actually. Like I said, I liked them at Double or Nothing. I thought they were great. Like this PPV, they kind of, I would go as far as they kind of like disappointed. I expected more.
They didn't get a chance to shine.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm disappointed with that. I mean, it's a shame we don't get to see them again. Then.
No, actually, no. I tell a lie. We do.
Okay.
They're on the next pay-per-view.
Okay. Cool.
Oh,
It's them straight up tag
you
match
lied?
against Private
Straight
Party.
up lie.
Sorry, I can't remember everything. God, they actually have a tag match against Private Party on the pre-show of the next pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, wow. That's going to be awesome.
That will be a good match. Yeah, well, it must be a good match. But they are not right. Okay, yeah. So I was half right. They're not at the Full Gear pay-per-view. So All Out might be their last appearance. I'll double check that though before the
For
next
this season,
episode.
anyway.
I don't think. I mean, we know without saying what it is. We know what season 2 is, and we've got a rough idea what season 3 is. So if we get to season 4, maybe we'll come back to AEW. Maybe we'll see him again. But who knows? Who knows?
stay tuned to find out, guys.
Yeah, be about like 2 years away.
I just want to point out as well, JR at the end of the match was saying how he feels that Jungle Boy was actually MVP.
Were you on
of
JR
that
watch
match.
or something?
Oh no, JR is massive on Jungle Boy in every match he's in.
Oh, he loves him. Yeah.
He's always trying to sell Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Is there a
Constantly.
reason for this, or just
No,
he
it's
just
his
genuinely
favorite.
thinks he's
It's
good?
his favoritism.
That's
what
probably his dad, isn't it? He probably knew his dad.
Yeah. I mean, JR actually makes a point of calling him Jungle Boy Jack Perry again during this match.
Yeah, he does it all the time. He gets him
All the
over
time,
for
which
that
is-
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was reading something with JR recently, and he made a conscious choice at this point because Jungle Boy just wanted to be known as Jungle Boy. He's introduced as Jungle Boy. But JR made a point of saying, no, you need to be Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I'm going to call you Jungle Boy Jack Perry because that is going to be ingrained on the fans and they'll come to know you as that. And you can eventually start to drop the Jungle Boy, which is kind of doing now.
Well, yeah, it's working now. It took 3 years to get there.
Makes sense, he can't always be known as Jungle Boy. Let's be honest. Like, at some point in your career, he's got to drop that.
No, he does eventually. In the last year, when he's been maturing as a character, he's been moving towards Jack Perry. To be fair,
yeah.
Okay.
It's match number 6. It's Hangman Adam Page versus Kip Sabian, and we get a video package here that is very one-sided.
Yeah, you know what? It is. I wouldn't even say it was a promo for the match. It was a promo for Hangman.
Yeah.
It was literally a promo for Hangman.
I mean, I went into this thinking, oh, maybe Kip Sabian's going to give him a match, you know, like maybe they'll big it up so Kip really could like pin Hangman. And then I saw the video and I was like, well, is there really any point watching this match?
It's like everyone wants their 15 minutes of fame. Like Kip got his 3 seconds of fame in that promo. I swear, like it was just like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, Sabian.
Yeah,
he's not ready for this match yet.
I don't think he's ready for this level of how can I put this?
Competition.
Yeah, this level of competition.
Yeah,
you can tell he was very green.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, Marvez even pointed out that Sabian has been showcasing his talents around the globe, trying to build a portfolio, and he wants to make AEW part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck them in the big PPV. Like, it's not a big, obviously not a big PPV, but obviously a big match like this.
Yes, it's a big pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's the biggest of all.
Yeah, let's not give it
Might
again.
have been one step too far for him. At this point of his career, I don't know Kip Sabian. I've never actually watched him, but from what I watched from this match, looked like he was quite green still.
Well, he's much better now. He definitely has a character now, I would say.
He has, 100% as a character. He doesn't resemble. You wouldn't even be able to recognize him.
No.
If you didn't know it was him. Like you took a picture of him now and a picture of him man, and you wouldn't be able to tell it's the same person.
No. Yeah, that's right. No, honestly, they look two different people. Even the way that they cut the promo is completely different. Yeah. And I quite like Kip Sabian now. He had a pretty decent match with Orange Cassidy recently at Battle of the Belts. I really enjoyed it, but he's kind of stuck in the mid card now. He's probably
mid-card, but at least he's somewhere.
He's established there now, I'd say, which is really good for him. But this is a bit of a step too far. I mean, he had the match with Sammy. Yeah, was he on the pre-show or was it on the main card? It was the pre-show, wasn't it? So he's kind of gone from the pre-show of Double or Nothing to no match to wrestling arguably AEW's most push star right now.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, so we say most push star because obviously we got the promo right there, and he comes out and he's already got pyros. That's a big giveaway. Hangman comes out and he's already got pyros, right? I think like that's how you know who they were going to push. They had pyros.
Yeah.
No, genuinely. And then I kid you not, there was obviously Hangman has been world champion, right? He's the fourth, I want to say, fourth world champion. Okay, and I kid you not, in the first year of AEW, they've released a banner. It had 4 people on it in an order, and and in that order, all 4 of those people became champion, one after the other.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Like 4. It was like they were telling us who was going to become champion.
Pretty
we
much.
Didn't know it at the time, but you look back at it, and it's like that's crazy.
Yeah. I will say one thing on Page now, though. He's still selling that knee injury. So I covered it in the last episode, but for those that don't know.
Well, even to this day?
No.
Just every match for 3 years.
No one in AEW is questioning it. They're just letting him go. No, in this pay-per-view, he's still selling the knee injury. So originally he was meant to wrestle Pac at Double or Nothing. Pac was signed with AEW, but I think he was also signed with Dragon Gate, I think they were called.
Okay.
He pulled out. I actually think it was Dragon Gate that pulled out, but either way, Pac didn't wrestle at Double or Nothing. And the way that they sort of circumvented doing that match, because it was announced, was Pac attacked Adam Page on a non-AEW show prior to Double or Nothing. And Pac then just used the excuse of, all I wanted to do was hurt Hangman.
Okay.
I've done that. I don't need to be at Double or Nothing now. So go away. That was 2 months ago. And he's still selling it. And he sells it all the way through the match as well.
Yeah.
Although he's a dirty, dirty heel because he stopped a Tope Suicida.
But we still got one.
He did hit it because Kip's the ultimate babyface.
Oh my god. But yeah, Tope Suicida.
Yeah, good old Kip. But it was an okay match.
You know what? I barely got any notes on this. And Hangman is probably one of my favorite stars in AEW. I've barely got any notes on this match. I literally put Hangman powerbombing Kip from the ring to the ramp. Ouch. Yeah. Right, I enjoyed that. And then I saw for the first time ever an Avalanche swinging neckbreaker. Never seen that before.
Yeah.
And then that's the only notes I've really made. There wasn't much to be said.
You didn't note down Page's discus lariat, which nearly took Kip's head off?
He does it every match. It's like a signature move. So
right. I see. For you,
So
yeah.
Different for me.
Amazing.
They're amazing. They're always amazing. Like, clotheslines are like Hangman's thing. He delivers.
They really are.
Yeah. He does them so well. Come on.
He does. He does.
JR saying it's a slobber knocker out there. That put a smile on my face.
Yeah, it was an odd match. Like the crowd, again, just going on about the crowd a bit, but they were dead throughout this match.
It's just disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, Page did a
where are we again? Where are we?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Jesus.
We're at Daly's place, yeah.
Wow.
I know. That's what I thought.
Crazy because it's like the home of AEW now, and the fans go crazy every time they're there.
Like I said, the only thing I can think of it was the heat.
So
it was. I think the heat was mentioned quite a few times.
They do. They said it's 85 degrees, which is Fahrenheit. People who are listening in, so that's about.
They're not going to assume they're burning to death on the outside.
Yeah. So for us, it would be 29 degrees, 30 degrees.
It was actually during this match I realized that Daly's place was an outdoor arena. Because I noticed it was dark outside now at this point, and I was like, "Oh, the crowd actually looked better now because it's in complete darkness." But yeah, they didn't wake up until Page did a moonsault to Kip on the outside. They woke up a little bit, and
they did, and then he just sold the knee yet again, quite brilliantly.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just odd.
Marvez is going, "Why, Page? Why would you do that to yourself?"
And really annoying. Like, this match went for 19 minutes, which is probably probably 10 minutes
and 3 seconds.
Yeah, I also wrote the 3 seconds down really pedantically. Just didn't want to say it. It's probably 10 minutes more of Kip Sabian that I really wanted to see at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
It's a shame. It's a shame.
it's a strange match for Hangman to have before a world title match as well.
Yeah.
Like he's
They
had a
didn't
really
really build
weird
him.
build. Yeah. Like really, really strange. And
Do you know what's funny? Yeah, this is similar to how eventually when he gets the title, he has a similar build. There's not really much built to it. You
No.
know, there's a built to what the clash he's having with the person he's having it because it was a long time storyline. But him actually coming back up to the title, not really. It's very odd.
I think at this point, at least, as much as we're saying like Kip probably isn't ready for something like this, and like in my opinion anyway, like he's not, but I think it's a good sign at least in terms of looking at Tony Khan and his booking, in that he is looking to push certain people and see how far they are, whether or not they're ready for certain roles and things like that. Because Kip actually ends up having a match one-on-one with both Omega and Cody in January. So it won't be on the podcast, but he does have one-on-one matches with those two people.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But after the match, we get a Dark Order putty coming out.
I was so
Yeah.
confused by this, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was really like, "What's going on? Who's this guy?"
So at what point did you realize who it was? Out of interest, when you went
When
to
they did it,
him?
when they did a close up. Nah, when they
Really?
did the close up.
No, for me
Really?
it was for me it was the code breaker.
Oh, for me it was the
Okay,
close. As soon as I saw the close up and the eyes, I was like, "Oh, it's Jericho."
No, yeah, it was the
Yeah,
code
it's
breaker for me.
mask off. I was trying to work out. I was like, "Well, what's the Dark Order got?" I was stuck on the Dark Order. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
okay.
was like, "Whoa, what's the Dark Order got to do with Paige? What's going on? Where's the tie?" He's trying to work out, and then they took the mask off.
You
And I
know,
was like,
you know what? Yeah,
ne-
that
ne-
line.
never has a tie. Never.
But no, that line is hilarious. Well, him saying, "What's the Dark Order got to do with Adam Page?" It's a little bit funny.
Well, yeah, now because Adam Page,
Yeah.
just for context, Adam Page is kind of
Besties.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just don't. I didn't understand this. I mean, obviously Jericho gets the beat down on Adam Page, but
Him coming to
why
the ring
he needs to come
in
out in a putty
disguise would have been
mask?
fine. Yeah, that's the thing. Why would you link it to Dark Order? There was just no
Yeah.
need.
I mean, maybe
Just
they
wear
thought that they were going to do more
schemas.
with the Dark Order
Yeah.
early on, but maybe
Mm.
Tony Khan pivoted a little bit. I
Yeah.
just don't understand.
"Do you reckon like Jericho was the original idea? Maybe was Jericho wasn't supposed to take his mask off. It was just be a quick attack and then go."
Well, it wouldn't make
Maybe
sense
That wouldn't
still
make sense.
because it
Yeah.
wouldn't make any sense. In that case, don't have Jericho do it.
I
suppose,
just don't understand why Jericho just couldn't have come for the like
Sure,
he
Jericho
attacks
probably needed a mask. He was like, "Shit, I forgot my mask. Just give me yours."
he attacks Hangman. Literally, the second Hangman turns around. So
Yeah.
it's like there's no point in having a mask on. Just come out to the crowd. Come out through the crowd.
Yeah, it's just very
One
odd.
thing I will say though, and what I found really interesting, did you hear the crowd chant after this?
No, what was it?
Thank you, Jericho.
Oh,
So I think that was a little indication the crowd weren't on board with Tony Khan's Golden Boy. Not to be confused with the Golden Boy, the commentator, Tony Khan's Golden Boy.
I'm not sure Hangman was Tony Khan's Golden Boy. Yeah, we know he is, right? But I don't think it showed that he was at this point.
I think it showed 100%.
I think Jericho is bigger than Hangman.
Oh yeah, he is.
At this point.
Yeah,
and I think that's what it is.
I have no comment on this little debate as I don't know.
But I think it was just that Jericho is a much bigger star than Hangman.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jericho was brought into the company to put the belt on him and get some brand recognition and try to bring fans in from WWE and other wrestling organizations. But Hangman definitely was.
I don't know.
He was.
There's been so little.
Man, he was.
You know what, folks? Let us know in the comments
WWE.
what you think. Yeah, let us know if you think he was being. You could tell he was being pushed. That'd be interesting.
And I'll hang my head in shame if I'm wrong. So match number 7 is SoCal Uncensored versus the Lucha Bros. And this match was officially announced on episode 160 of the YouTube series Being the Elite, the one I've mentioned a couple of times in this podcast. It's the one where Leva Bates at the very start had that conversation with the Young Bucks. Actually, funny enough, the episode was titled "Go Away Heat." And it opened with Leva Bates having that conversation with Nick and Matt Jackson. So they fully know what's going on.
They're completely aware. So why would you keep doing it? Let's not.
So both... Oh, actually, no. It's only SoCal that's basically announced the match on Being the Elite, and the episode premiered 4 days before this pay-per-view. So
of course it is.
brilliant.
Okay.
This is actually the first time that this combination of both teams have officially faced each other in the ring.
Okay.
So I was really looking forward to it because, again, usually it's not what we got. I think Kazarian and Sky were teaming tonight, when usually it's Kazarian and Daniels, and that's who they faced before. I love the Lucha Bros, and yeah, this match couldn't really go wrong here. Could it, guys? Could it go wrong? Could it be a bit meh?
No, I literally put my final note was literally both team delivered.
Interesting.
Both team did deliver.
Let's talk about.
I'm biased. I love the Lucha Brothers. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I love them as well.
How do we feel about the samurai armored bugs?
Loved
outfits
it.
they came in?
Loved it.
That was interesting to say the least.
I wanted them to keep it on.
I will say, like, the Lucha Brothers, the way they delivered the kicks and the slaps were seriously vicious during this match.
They sell them, man.
Yeah, like just
They won the crowd over with them. Well, the crowd was, they're instantly crowd favorite them when they stepped in the ring.
yeah. I mean, they're super good. So, can we? Does anybody know what Ray delivered during this match?
Tope Suicida.
Suicida.
I thought we were going to get a double tope, but both the Lucha Bros just did a baseball slide instead, and I was really pissed off at that point.
Super disappointed with that as well. I thought, how could you do that to us?
We've never had a double tope, and I want to see one now.
Yeah,
I was disappointed at this match.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think I expected more.
I
Go
don't
on.
understand. Yeah.
Go on, elaborate.
Honestly, I thought we were going to get a better match than what we actually had here.
What
was a
more
solid
could you
match.
want from
I
these
did-
guys?
Well, I mean, I've seen the Lucha Bros quite a few times now. SCU I've not seen that much of, but to be honest, I think SCU have had better showings.
Okay.
I've only seen SCU once before this, and I believe that was at Double or Nothing. And I said, now Scorpio Sky still surprises me.
He's super
The
good.
The
honestly.
size of
He's-
him,
yeah.
it's the size of him,
Mm.
but yet he can throw himself around that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt this match was kind of, I mean, it was thrown together, but more importantly, I just kind of think this match was here just to give
You know how many
the
times
Lucha
you've
Bros
said,
a win.
Yeah. Do you know how many times during this podcast you have said this match has been thrown together? So at this point, let's just admit this pay-per-view has been thrown together.
Like I said before, that this pay-per-view was set before Double or Nothing. They knew what was going to happen on this pay-per-view. They had time to announce everything on this pay-per-view beforehand, and they just haven't done it.
Both tag teams delivered. They done an amazing job. Both delivered. More so the Lucha Brothers. Just they gave 100%. You can tell. And
What about the wheelbarrow powerbomb from SCU? That's the only move I've marked down. That was awesome.
I didn't catch that, I think.
Oh, they kind of like rolled each other into a powerbomb. I can't even describe it.
Oh God, yes, now I know. Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. It's the second time SCU's done a move that I love, because last time was like where they basically crucifix into a cutter. That's still like an incredible move.
The crucifix into a cutter was an amazing move.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Okay.
I just feel like this match was here just to give the Lucha Bros a win before they go into the match with the Bucks at All Out.
Do you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, same. I don't disagree, but I don't see the problem. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I wasn't fine with it when CIMA had his match with Sky, not Sky, sorry, with Daniels in the last match, because it was very obvious that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I thought both guys gave it the role there as well. But I don't know. I was disappointed. I know we see them again, and I know the match is better than this.
Okay.
As in this match, we see this match again.
So I'm going to bring some.
Sorry. We see this match again, like
on the podcast. Yeah, we'll see it in 2 episodes' time.
Okay.
Okay.
Same SCU or different combination?
I need to double check that.
Okay. We'll talk about it for now, but
I think it is the same SCU though.
Okay. Well, what we'll do then, when we revisit this match in 2 episodes' time, we will reconvene this conversation. We will all look back and come to a final decision whether or not this match was or whether this match was
If you've seen it, guys, let us know in the comments if you liked it, because it's nice to get some tie dividers, as it were.
So what we want you to comment is yeah or meh.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll be counting those up.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna kind of in the mess. Okay, so I want to bring this up. Did you guys hear what Excalibur said? At one point, Penta slaps Daniel's chest, and Excalibur says it sounded like a gunshot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Christ's sake.
It's a
He did not
fucking
think about that.
pay-per-view where they're giving money to charity for victims of gun violence.
Yeah, and you made a gun reference, a gunshot reference.
Excalibur,
Oh.
why?
Oh, I did actually write down that slap. I've actually written down. I said "holy shit" out loud. It was that loud.
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah, they were really.
I
loud,
read
like-
them slaps could be heard from outside the arena.
The crowd were engaged. There were a few things that I did really like in the match. It's really starting to grate on me though that the Canadian Destroyer doesn't get a win because the
I thought
Canadian
it was
Destroyer.
over. I thought it was done. Once that Canadian Destroyer hit, I was like, this
So
match is done.
it's
now.
like a
Don't
Canadian
think
Destroyer
I've-
never finishes a match.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
maybe
think I've-
once ever have I seen it do it.
I don't think I've ever seen it
Yeah.
finish a
It
match,
should.
and it looks
really should.
so devastating.
Yeah.
Like, if I was a wrestler, I would make a Canadian Destroyer my move because it looks so badass.
Yeah.
Literally. Marvez at some point started talking. I can't quite remember what he was saying now, but he was talking about Tony Khan. He was gassing up Tony Khan pretty much, hyping him up.
Okay.
Excalibur and Jared take this time here to actually take the piss out of him for what he said. Excalibur goes, "It sounds like you were paid to say that."
Oh yes, I picked up on that as well. Yeah.
And like JR is just cracking up, right? You
Yeah.
can hear it. Like they're both. It feels like any time they can, they'll both take the piss out of Marvez.
Oh, we didn't mention what happened at the start with the
the
Miedo's
chant
Zero
off.
Miedo. Yeah,
chant-
and
I
then
called it the
Audrey
chant off.
dropped. Yeah, Audrey dropped Penta's glove,
I
and
love
everybody
that he
booed.
gave her,
And like, he did it again for a cheer.
I wrote down Audrey getting a do-over. It was amazing.
Really, I put Audrey. You had one job.
But yeah, like I said, I was a bit disappointed.
It did, I will tell you, I will give one thing. I think the match was there to give Lucha some screen time because obviously they have a promo post-match.
Yeah, I mean, this is
True,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
match is here to highlight the luchas.
Which, by the way, we haven't
before
told
they
anyone on the podcast the Lucha Bros win, obviously, based on what we're saying, but we didn't mention it.
Well, I was getting to it. Like, it's not my first hosting job, you know. It's my second, well, third actually. Yeah.
Third, actually, yeah.
No, yeah, that's why I was disappointed. It's because it felt like the Lucha Bros needed a win before they wrestled the Elite for, the Bucks for the AAA championships in the last match in the next pay-per-view.
Yeah,
because at the moment they've had 2 matches and they've lost both. The Luchas before this point.
Is it
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
next pay-per-view? Because I swear I heard Excalibur said they were going to do it at AAA.
Yeah.
No. So Excalibur says that
Oh,
the
well,
Lucha Bros, the Elite, so the 3 of them against Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid is going to take place at AAA.
Right,
Triple
okay,
Mania.
yeah, you're right.
And
right.
that's the rematch from the match that we saw in the last
Yeah, of
pay-per-view,
course, yeah. Yeah.
which the Elite won. Basically, the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid get their win back at the
Okay.
Triple Mania. But Lucha Bros at the moment they lost against the Bucks at Double or Nothing. So that's when they lost the AAA. Oh, were the Bucks already the AAA champions at that point? I can't remember. I think they were.
Can't remember either.
So they lost that match, and then they had the match against Elite, and they lost that, and then they've come into this match, and again, it feels like there needs to be a win for them to go against the Bucks at the next pay-per-view. One
Either
thing,
way, the match was amazing.
though.
Okay.
The
Or meh, folks. Yeah or meh. Right here. Yep.
One thing I will say here, though, is obviously after the match, Lucha Bros go ahead and challenge the Bucks to a ladder match. The Bucks do not respond to it for the rest of the night, so we don't know whether or not they accept it unless you're watching, like, being the Elite and stuff. They get a black and gold ladder out, which I thought was awesome.
I literally put black and gold, sexy
Match the
leather.
colours, man.
Yeah,
Match the colours.
it'd be like,
Even Marvez comments on that as well.
yeah,
Oh, does he? What does he say?
Yep.
just
He says
mentions
good
the fact
choice
it's
of
black and
colours.
gold. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it stood out. You know, it was the highlight of
Yeah.
the post match.
This was also the match that he made that very good commentary on. SU maybe not as good because of the combination of the team haven't really
Yeah, he did
wrestled
make
together all that
comment.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
For the sake of what we were saying earlier, it is actually this combination that has the match in 2 matches, 2 pay-per-views time. No,
Okay.
pay-per-view, sorry, 2 episodes time.
Yeah,
Because it's on an episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
Why at this point in time does every match have a time limit?
I don't know. I noticed it in the last match. Was it the last match or
Pretty
maybe
sure
the
something
match?
they just. I'm pretty sure it's something they just do.
No, it was
JR
Justin Roberts
even
was
says
doing
it
it a
as well.
lot. Yeah, in the last match, after it got past the 15-minute mark,
Mhm.
Justin Roberts was literally calling every minute.
Oh, was he? I didn't even
Yeah.
notice. God.
I think it might be like, I think it's more for the talent than anything else. Like to say, listen, there's this long left,
I didn't like it. Was distracting.
wrap it up, sort of thing. I should imagine.
I don't. Maybe I don't know.
I think it might be. I don't know, but it kind of irks me a bit that every match is time limited and we're getting told how
Well, they're
much
always
left.
time limited. That's what I meant. I didn't realize you meant they were calling it every minute.
No, they're calling it, and it kind of like it spoiled it a bit because you think, well, it's going to end in a second then.
Yeah, they
You know
were
what I
like Justin Roberts was literally going 10 minutes remaining, 5 minutes remaining, 4 minutes remaining, 3 minutes remaining. I was like, oh, please stop. Anyway, Lucha Bros don't get out the ring before CIMA's music hits, and CIMA comes out to the ring. There's no messing around here. There's no video package or anything. It's just, here's a match between Kenny Omega and CIMA. Great.
Solid reaction move when Shima's entrance. Solid reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
Which is much different to what we actually get during the match.
Yep.
No, but
super. You know what? I actually really enjoyed this match. The crowd's engagement, I guess, just really annoyed me throughout.
Yeah.
Question: How the hell do you go to? How the hell do you have a 22-year career in the business and never wrestle Kenny Omega?
Well, he was in New Japan, so
yeah, he was mostly in New Japan for.
Oh my god! So
basically until AEW.
Yeah, I got another Marvelous comment here. Basically, it's about CIMA saying how CIMA will be embarrassing himself, his country.
Yeah,
the whole of
I read that
China,
down as well.
Like the billions of people. If he loses this match, and Excalibur's having to go. Well, I wouldn't say that. And then he was like, "It's Kenny Omega."
It is literally, yeah, it literally does. I've actually written down exactly what he says. He goes, "If CIMA loses this match, he'll be an embarrassment to 1.4 billion people." And Excalibur's like, "Well, Kenny Omega's like one of the best wrestlers in the world, so probably not that bad."
Yeah.
Kenny got the loudest reaction of the night so far.
Yes, he did. When Omega's coming to the ring, the commentators seem really harsh to him because they keep playing up the fact that Omega hasn't had a singles win in AEW yet.
What was that about?
Pay-per-view.
They do, yeah.
Like, why? In fairness, he's had one singles match before this, which he lost, but then he had a trios match, which he won. He won it for them. And they're here to saying, "Well, you know, he's not had a singles match."
I think what they said was it was something along the lines of they're looking forward to seeing his first singles win in AEW. He lost his only singles match to Chris Jericho, and then he got to win his 6-man tag match. And they just kept them talking about that.
But they do keep mentioning.
Yeah, all the way through the match, they just keep saying it.
They mention it.
Yeah.
Either they're trying to. The only thing I can think is they wanted to make it a big deal when he does get his first win.
Yeah, which is coming up.
Yeah.
and then all that was followed by a nice Stone Cold reference by JR saying, "That's the bottom line, is that Kenny hasn't won a singles match in AEW."
But
do you know what? Yeah, Marvez makes comments during this match that has convinced me. I'm convinced. Yeah, he has a screen or a mobile phone or something with Wikipedia in front of him.
You reckon?
He just gives out random information about their past and stuff. I forget what it was, what the comment was. I think it was something that happened 15 or 20 years ago to one of them. And yeah, I'm convinced he's just using Wikipedia.
Well, to be fair, like we learned at the beginning of this podcast from Jamie, like this is his like only third time commentating. So maybe second,
yeah.
Because you said you didn't know much about wrestling, so yeah.
So it makes sense.
He knew stuff about New Japan and that product, but he didn't know much about sort of WWE and Ring of Honor and like everything over in the West. But yeah, I mean, he could have been doing that. He could have just, like us, like we found out just doing a podcast. He may have just written his own notes down. Then there's no context to what he's written, and he's halfway through it before realizing there's no context. And you're like, "Oh fuck it, I got to carry on."
Wait, guys, is it happening? Are we sympathizing with Marvez here.
Yes, I have
I
been
didn't-
all of this pay-per-view.
I didn't partake in any of this. I was just standing here quietly, okay?
Anyway, this match started a little bit slower than what I was expecting, but this became a war. This
really
was
did.
amazing.
Do you know what? This is the match with the most
counters.
notes I have.
Oh, this is my most
Yeah.
noted match.
Yeah,
I
you're
think.
right, Day. There was loads of counters in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the main, I suppose, counter. Well, it was more CIMA doing something, but Kenny was just slapped out of midair when he tried to jump over CIMA.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
It was so cool. And then, like, as soon as CIMA missed the Meteora, which I'm pretty sure that's what his finishing with his knees. As soon as he missed that on the apron, Kenny just constantly focused on his knees all the way through the rest of the match.
Yeah. Also, CIMA delivered. I should have counted how many Meteoras he delivered. It. But he somehow made it interesting every single time he found a new way to deliver a Meteora.
I
crazy.
did count them. It was 7.
7 Meteoras.
7 Meteoras, and all of them were different.
The most brutal one was through that on the midi table.
Yes,
the announcers table. Just like a tiny square for context. It's not even like a proper table. It is literally just a square.
And it's a square.
CIMA kind of got up on the stage for the audience and jumped off it onto Kenny's ribs, and that table did not budge.
And he rolled perfectly to the ground afterwards.
Yeah. Although saying that, when they were on the outside, the commentators actually had to mention the fact as to why the referee was so inconsistent and deciding not to count out the 2 men.
So, what was the best chant of the night, guys?
The best chant?
Yeah, for this match.
You killed Kenny.
Yeah, you
Kenny.
killed Kenny chant. It's freaking hilarious.
Let's talk about the amazing combination Kenny done in the ring. Let's start from again. It started off with a buckle bomb, instantly followed with a Snapdragon suplex, immediately followed by a V trigger.
Is that when he did a V trigger to the back of his neck?
Yes.
Yeah, that looks so painful.
Oh my god!
Because there was four V triggers in this, and 2 of them was straight after. I think it was the 4th Meteora, and Kenny literally just he countered him. He actually caught him.
Yeah, I
hit a V trigger and then hit a second one immediately. It was just counter after counter.
He got hit by so many Meteoras at that point. He had to have a solution to it.
Yeah. It was like a proper war. I don't know how to describe it. Proper meaty. Does that make sense?
No, it was
a hostile.
This was a pay-per-view match.
Yeah,
that's how I would describe it.
I was literally about to say that. This is pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah,
100%.
And what's the worst spot? Yeah, go on.
Is it just me, or did any of your guys' cheeks hurt after the exchange of slaps between the 2? Oh my god! I swear, at one point you can see the sweat being slapped off their heads.
Well, it was great. It was like a proper war. That's the only way I can really describe it. It was a proper war. The slaps, the chops, the kicks. CIMA hitting the 7 Meteoras on Kenny, and they couldn't put him away. And Kenny hitting 4 V triggers and a Tiger Driver 98, and still couldn't get it down on CIMA until that one little equalizer that Kenny has, the one winged angel.
Oh, I love the name. I love the move. I love Kenny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you've seen his full-on Sephiroth entrance at Wrestle Kingdom 17
Mike made sure I saw
I made sure you watched that, yeah. He must have had such a, that must have made his day, just the entrance alone.
Oh, he
down like Sephiroth.
He must have been erect all the way down. Like, you got to dress up as King Sephiroth, full on, with a massive Titantron with the wing coming out of you. Oh,
that was amazing.
How he then went down to the ring and had a good 6-star match.
Yeah,
with Ospreay after that.
So this match is legitimately where I finally had enough of the crowd. Right, the crowd for this match, they kind of ruined the match at some level because they just weren't really reacting to the way they should have been. And then they suddenly start cheering, and I'm like, what's happening? And they're cheering because the Titantron screen has come off, and they're cheering for it to come when it comes back on, and then boo again. So the loudest reactions we got from the crowd with things that would not happen in the match.
Yeah.
Just super.
Gotta give it-
The crowds
Got to
really
give it to
kind
the
of ruined it a
referee
bit.
post-match.
Yeah, go on.
Did you guys see what the ref was doing on the post-match?
No.
He
No.
was cooling down Kenny Omega.
Ooh.
Really?
He went in with a bottle of water, gave one to CIMA, and was pouring it on Omega.
Yeah. Well,
Fair
it's
enough.
bigger.
I mean, they
Probably
went
boiling.
for it.
and
Yeah.
they are so far the only team that's actually given us a pay-per-view worthy match.
Indeed.
So yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah.
So Omega picks up the W. CIMA now has to avoid 1.4 billion people.
Oh.
Here comes Jericho again. He's wearing a different outfit from his attack earlier, which honestly, I had to pause the pay-per-view because I was laughing so much just at the thought of someone great like Jericho coming out, attacking someone in a goober outfit, and then running backstage, changing, getting his little hat on, fucking putting his jacket on with all his spikes coming out of it, and then just coming back to the ring to cut a promo. Oh, you know what? Fucking A star for you, my man. A star. I love
this
that.
promo was the highlight for this promo for me. I love this promo for one thing only, mainly.
Yeah.
Peter Avalon holding back Chris Jericho.
No.
That's literally what I mentioned earlier in the pay-per-view. Oh, I could not believe it. But yeah, he literally cuts a promo on the live crowd, asking for each and every one of them to thank him individually. He claims that the fans are only in the arena because of him, and AEW is literally getting their own TV deal because of him as well.
Yeah. What's he called him? Jerkoffville.
Jerkoffville.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? Yeah. I put this. I literally wrote. I got two notes. The first one was "Sing Judas, you bastards," right? And the second one was Jericho being Jericho plus the mandatory plug. Everything Jericho said was Jericho being his typical arrogant piece of shit self. I'm not even talking about Jericho the character. I'm talking Jericho the actual person because he is that arrogant. But everything he said was actually true.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he literally says that
true.
if he beats Hangman, it's just another notch on his belt. But if he loses, it's the beginning of the end of AEW.
Yeah, he's
Like,
kind of right.
how cool is that? And then he vowed to win the title and called Hangman a bitch. And then Hangman straight to the ring. We get the brawl. I say the rest of the locker room comes out. It is literally like Janela and Avalon that come out. And I think there's a couple of others as well, but they're the two I noticed more than anything else. I don't ever want to. Oh, Christopher Daniels was there as well. I don't want to see Chris Jericho being held back by Peter Avalon.
Did you guys catch the fan when Jericho got punched out the ring and quickly escaped to get away from Paige? There's a fan right on the ringside, and he's proper going for it, Jericho. And it almost looked like they're having a genuine, Jericho's reacting in a genuine way, like not a character.
I don't think that's a fan. Because
that's
the same person from the Hangman Kip Sabian match, the one that Kip tries to like kiss the cheek of.
Yeah,
it's the same person. I think they're involved in some way, because no way would one fan draw a reaction from two people.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right there.
Okay.
But I didn't like that part, but the rest of the promo was fucking awesome. I don't think I was very interested in seeing Hangman versus Jericho. I know it's for the AEW World Championship. I know it's going to be the first, second.
Is it partly because we know who's going to win?
No. The whole point of this,
and we know Jericho isn't in his top peak condition in the ring anyway, as well.
True. I just don't think they've done a very good job of building. Well, I don't think they've done a very good job. I think the Kip Sabian match is kind of called Hangman for me a little bit. But this promo now makes me want to watch it. I'm very, very interested to see what happens in this match.
Do you think that promo went on a bit too long at the end?
Nope.
Like with the,
I loved it.
I think Paige stayed a bit too long, in my opinion. It took him a while to roll out and walk off.
I think Jericho was on the mic too long. Personally, I think that was the issue.
Perfect length. That's what was needed. You need something to hype up the World
Championship
time, match.
There were no real promos, so we needed one.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's kind of like, I guess I would have argued I would have made this one shorter, but had more promos throughout the event. Build more storylines. I mean, we did have the luchas, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, even if JR doesn't know it, it's main event time. Did you guys catch it?
Yes,
No, but I caught when
yes.
the camera was focusing on all three of them. Joel starts to say nonsense, and I forget what he says, but I just put Excalibur's got the cover for everyone tonight.
Oh,
Because Excalibur covers for JR again.
Marvez was the one that covered for him.
Yeah, Marvez covered.
Yeah.
Marvez
J-
covered up JR big time.
JR was talking about the main event and then just kind of went, is it the main event time?
No, it was before that.
No,
Before
this
that.
was here. This was here.
Yeah, no, but before that said, Joel says something else and Excalibur covers for him. I need to go back and find it. Yeah,
oh, maybe.
doesn't matter now, but yeah.
That's the point I remember was
Yeah.
he not knowing that it was the main event or
Yeah.
just questioning if it was the main event. And
But
Marvez was
why
like,
was he-
yeah, Jim, of course it's the main event. And then he was never seen again.
The thing is, I don't understand how he didn't know it was the main event because he literally has the breakdown of the night
He was talking
in
about
front
the
of him
match.
on the piece of paper,
He was literally talking about it.
and he doesn't know that they're rolling into it.
He probably didn't look further past the list. I don't know.
No, but he said they were talking about the main event, and then he went, we're rolling now. Okay, we're rolling.
Maybe he had a senior moment.
So, match number 9 and our main event. It's the Brotherhood. Cody and Dustin Rhodes versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. The Bucks versus Cody and a partner of his choosing was set way back before AEW's first pay-per-view, and after their match at Double or Nothing, Cody chose Dustin to be his partner for the match, and here we are. What did you guys think of the video package?
I only got one note in that video package.
Yep.
Cody's giving credit to the Bucks, and he starts mentioning a list of matches, and he mentions one that I've not added to my list of things I need to watch, but Bucks versus the Briscoes.
Ooh.
Yeah, he mentions that the Bucks. Yeah, he just lists out a bunch of things the Bucks have done as accomplishments, and one of them was the Bucks versus the Briscoes. I don't even know what promotions that happens in, but I need to watch it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I enjoyed watching the Young Bucks making fun of their match at the end with blood on their face, hugging each other. That was
you know
great.
what? I had a problem with that in general.
No, I liked
and
it.
this happens during the match as well. But no, because you got Cody talking about the Bucks as his friends and so forth, and you have the Bucks treating him like a piece of shit.
That's what makes it great.
Yeah, well, no, it happened on an episode of Being the Elite. It was a decent video package, but not as good as what we've seen before. And
No.
I just wish they didn't go with like the wanking each other off angle of it. You know, I mean, sure, call the Bucks the best tag team in the world because they probably do have a hand in that.
Yeah, they're in the conversation.
Yeah, but then to not only call Cody but Dustin as well, two of the best wrestlers in the world. Come on, I mean they're good. They're really good at what they do.
You know what's funny
about
that?
The best in the world is a bit much.
Do you know what's funny about that? I think it applies to Dustin. I don't think it applies to Cody.
Dustin's a better wrestler.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think you could apply Justin at his age, considering how well he's still going. He might be one of the best wrestlers in the world. Maybe not the flashiest,
not in the world.
But yeah. Dude, look at his age, look at how he can go, and look at his execution.
Yeah, no, it is really good. Not the best in the world, though. Come on.
There's different ways to look at it, man. I would make an argument for it, but yeah.
You could argue that he's one of the best wrestlers at his age in the world.
That suits him more.
You know what? Yeah, let's go with that then. Okay.
Yeah, I'd 100% be on board with that.
Yeah.
But to say he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, nah, he couldn't go with Okada, Omega. Like, fucking hell.
I'm sure he has gone with Okada over Omega.
I've not. I just googled it and I can't find Dustin versus
I'll
Omega.
find out what matches it was, but yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it was a little bit wanky.
Mm.
But they can do better videos than that.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right though. Was this the first time we've seen Tony Schiavone on AEW? Was during that video package, or has he been in any of the PPVs before? I don't remember.
This is the first time that he's actually shown up properly on AEW television. This is the second time technically he's been in AEW. He was a fan in the crowd.
He was.
Okay.
He was,
yeah. But this is the first time because he's now contracted to AEW, and he is going to be one of the commentary team at Dynamite. So it's him, JR, and Excalibur. So they are I think already at this point, that's already set. It's going to be those three. But he is now like officially contracted to AEW at this point. But, so main event. What do you guys think? Did you think this was main event worthy?
No.
No.
So
was
I
not.
literally have a note at the end of this that says, Marvez, of course. God, I've mentioned his name way too many times in one podcast.
I know I'm gonna have
Marvez.
to edit so many of this out. we sound like we're attacking him all the way through.
Hey, I really
Hey,
wish you would stop editing what I'm saying, because I mean it when I say it.
Wait, is this like some sort of playground stuff with you? Like you keep bullying Marvez because you
No,
do
but
like him?
okay, well, let me okay, Marvez called it one of the Young Bucks' best match ever.
No.
Yeah? Should I just let that slip? Should I not mention it?
He's right if they're only talking about AEW.
He said best match ever.
Yeah. If they're only talking about AEW.
It's been like three
I know.
shows.
So he is right. If they're only talking about AEW.
Okay, whatever. Just not going to bother with that kind of nonsense comment.
I didn't think Cody and Dustin. Well, to me anyway, them being a tag team didn't sell for me. I didn't enjoy watching them as a tag team.
Oh, that's really weird because I actually really love them as a tag team.
I
was really into their run in WWE when I can't remember what the angle was originally. They did beat the Shield
because they mentioned in the promos. That's how I know that.
Yeah, the whole sort of build up to that was Dustin coming back to WWE to basically save Cody's job, and he had an amazing match with Randy Orton. He lost, but he had an amazing match with Randy Orton.
Oh, I believe
it. Both of them then ended up in a tag team, and then they end up in a feud with the Shield because the Shield at the time were, I think, with what they called the Authority at the time. I can't remember. It was back in 2015. But they had the match, and then they won the tag team titles, and I was fully invested in that. So the prospect of them tag teaming here was really good because I love them in WWE. I just don't think it was. I don't know what it was.
They didn't win me. Do I think it was for me? After watching their last match, Cody versus Dustin, and I seen what they can do as solos, like to each other, obviously, like as a solo wrestler. I think I was expecting too much as a tag from both of them, and they just didn't reach my expectations. So that's probably why I feel like
I think that's single match performers more than tag team, and it shows.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, they had an assisted crossroad, and that was pretty cool. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, it was kind of like two guys thrown together.
They don't need each other. That's the thing.
They don't need each other, no. But I think this is always a one and done thing. I think the whole point of this was we're going to have one match.
Yeah.
But why hype it up? Why hype it up though, as if like they're a great tag team when they're clearly not?
Well, they were. That's the thing.
Were being the key word for you.
Can I just say the way he's talking about them
6 years ago?
The way I talk about Marv is completely fine.
Anyway, question for you two. I think we've asked this before. Nick or Matt? Who do you prefer?
Nick is the better performer.
Nick is the better performer.
Nick is by far the better performer, right?
Nick's always been the better performer.
Yeah. Although I will say though, Matt injured his arm, or obviously in kayfabe injured his arm really early in the match, and he sold it all the way through.
Oh, fuck me, yeah.
It was like
I'm not saying
Matt's
match,
bad. And he was brilliant all the way through.
Yeah. I'm not saying Matt's bad, just Nick is better.
Yeah, I agree.
Just seems whatever tag team you're in, don't be Matt because your brother's better than you are.
What about Nick knocking down Cody and standing in his corner screaming for Dustin to tag him?
I love that.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. I know you said you didn't like it very much, Mike, but the Bucks being little shits in this match, I did love all of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Excalibur did such amazing commentary at one point. Dustin gets a rake to the eye by Matt Jackson. And Excalibur makes a point of saying it's the unpainted eye, as if like Dustin's paint has some sort of protection over his eye or something.
Oh, at what point they're all in the ring exchanging blows and Excalibur goes to JR, all you hear is, JR, you have a calling for this, don't you? What was it you call this? And JR's like, it's a slobber knocker.
But
this went on too long. I think that's probably my problem with it. Is it went on too long.
Like, well, it took a while to. Do you know what I put? It was basically two styles of matches, right? You had when the Bucks were in control, it was the Bucks type of match, and when Cody and Dustin were in control, it was a different type of match.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as
one of them was really fast and one of them was really slow, so the slow one kind of extended the duration of the match in a way.
Yeah, I mean, Matt was being worked over for what,
Yeah,
10, 15 minutes of the match before we got the hot tag into Nick.
yeah,
And then the pace just exploded from there. And we got things like the
Yeah.
double combination of sharpshooters and the figure four,
yeah.
and then the four-way
Woo!
lariat. And
Oh,
helping them out.
and then we got the anti-air super kick. You know, it's just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
anti-air super kick was amazing.
there
Oh,
was some
yeah.
really, really good. I mean, the ref lost control by the end of the match.
Do you know
by
what?
that
Nick
point.
doing a crossroads on Cody. I actually popped for that. I just loved it. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, nice.
No, I popped when the Young Bucks dropped an uppercut, then the Rhodes uppercut.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah,
that
was really good.
I was like, wow, that was awesome.
I did wonder, like, why have you stopped? It's like,
I mean, they've done it better than Cody and Dustin.
No, they
Oh.
didn't.
Oh, that's big talk.
One thing I'm going to say now, though, is this is the third match in a row where Cody has used a weighted belt as a weapon.
What's
Why is he
up
not
with
being
that?
disqualified?
Referees may use the rules at their discretion.
No,
They said it. Very first show.
it's
They said
literally
it.
so ridiculous. Well, that was because of for countouts, but this is literally a weapon being used in the match, and they do piss off. He was stood right in front of him. It's not like Cody used it secretly. He literally took his belt off in front of the referee and then whipped Matt with it.
The ref was just like, oh no, please don't do that. Oh no, you're doing that, are you?
Oh no, I'm blind for a few minutes. But yeah, the match was
Oh, did you
probably
guys
not
catch?
the main event. It should have been CIMA and Kenny.
Yeah, it should have. It should have been. Yeah.
But
Oh no, 100% should have been CIMA and Kenny.
but in fairness, this is the biggest match of AEW so far. I mean, it's the one with the most amount of story that's gone into it so far.
Yeah.
So it kind of default has to be the main event. But I think Dustin and Cody worked really well. Still,
I actually think realistically they should have given Hangman a proper opponent and made Hangman's match the main event, since you're building up towards your world title.
yeah, literally end it with
Yeah, and
Jericho
then Jericho coming in,
doing the beatdown at
beating
the
him.
end.
Yeah, that
Perfect.
would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch Marvis's quick maths during that match?
No,
He did
They
some
were
Steiner math, didn't he?
Did
They were,
he?
they were
Oh, I
talking
missed
about
it.
Matt's age and the length of Dustin's career. And then Marvez just quickly went, whoa, when Dustin was 22 years in his career, Matt would have been 16 or something like that. And the commentary just went quiet after. It was so he said something along those lines, but it just went quiet. As if like,
Okay.
why did you do that?
And if you add the 2 to the 5 to 6, you can calculate that Matt will in fact win 2 times more than Cody.
Oh, man. But no, yeah, they're talking about I think it's Excalibur and Jared talking about the ages and the career length of Dustin, and then Marvel's just come out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
But no, 30-minute match or 31-minute
It was a long match.
25. Yeah, it was too long.
Yeah.
It was clear from the very start as well. It was like such a slow start. It was like one move and then a pause and a pose. And I
mean,
didn't
it's clear for
actually
me
know
'cause I
how.
could see how much of the time was left when the match started. But yeah, I agree. With you.
Well, there's a bit at the end as well. So I actually was worried that it was going on for about 45
I didn't know about
minutes.
that bit. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
No,
got-
not
that bit.
did I.
You got to think though. I think the match might have actually ran over accidentally because didn't they run out of TV time?
Yeah,
He
pretty much.
said
yeah.
that. Yeah, he said
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But no, the Brotherhood lose
Yeah, Young Bucks win.
to a Meltzer driver. Clean 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Bucks win. I keep like coming across as though like I'm disappointed, but like it was a good match, but it went on for a bit too long and probably shouldn't have been the main event. That's probably two things
Yeah.
Should we just say that the PPV didn't stand up to your expectations?
Well, I'm
Jamie?
coming to that in just a few seconds' time. If,
Okay, all
if
right.
you
all
would
right.
keep your seatbelts on and your tray tables up. We get a nice little moment though at the end of this match.
Yeah, I put that as well. Nice post-match moment between Bucks
Yeah.
and Cody.
Well, I wasn't referring to that. That again,
Oh.
that was very wanky for me.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was like what.
Basically them saying, "Oh, I know we've taken the piss out of you for a few weeks, but we really respect you. You're like the best in the world."
It felt like to me that they had to say that because they felt like Cody might have been taking it personally.
No, I don't think it was.
I don't understand
I
why.
felt,
they
I
said
felt
it.
Dustin was.
I don't know why they had to say it. I don't
I
get
just
what the
think-
whole point of that was.
I think it was just the end of the
I will tell you
pay-per-view.
now, Day, because you obviously haven't seen, but the Bucks are dramatic. Genuinely speaking, they just are. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but after that, Kenny Omega, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Shad Khan, and Alex Jabali come out to the ring to present a check for the Victim Assistance Advisory Council, which is a really great way to end the pay-per-view, I thought. Nice big
It
check
was.
for £150,000.
Yeah.
Odd that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were there.
I thought that was interesting as well. They were there. They were like,
Yeah.
it kind of shows you how it's like how core to the thing they were, because they literally, it was really weird, right? It was weird.
Well, I think that Tony Khan must have noticed how over they were in this pay-per-view. And I think maybe they just went, well, out you guys go.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Then again, I suppose they couldn't really send up the Dark Order, could they? So
I thought it was a little bit.
Imagine the putties coming out.
I thought it was a little bit meh, I guess, of Cody going out of his way to say how much everybody put into it. I don't think that was necessary.
He was a bit.
Just say we made 150 grand. Like, don't say, oh, someone put in 10 grand, someone put in 20 grand.
Yeah, no one needs to know how much who put in what. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter is, the money's there.
Yeah, exactly. I will. Yeah, so Cody has left AEW at this point, right? In the present time. And there were supposedly conflicts of what they wanted AEW. And I thought it was interesting because when Cody is on the mic, he goes on about his revolution, okay? But when Kenny goes on the mic, he mentions their unique brand of wrestling. And I remember reading reports that was a big thing. Kenny just wanted AEW to be a place where you could get different types of wrestling.
I think
Cody wanted to be the next big thing.
Cody says you can't counter program what they're doing. There's something like that, wasn't it?
I didn't understand what he was saying by that, by the way. I was like, what do you mean you can't
he was just shooting
a program? I don't understand.
He was trying to shoot across the bow to WWE. Because at the time, WWE knew something was happening. And I think it was maybe a year after this is when you get the NXT versus Dynamite. But WWE were wary of AEW at this point already.
Oh, okay.
So
did you guys notice not a mistake, as a big oops on Cody's part during that ending segment?
No.
So Cody wanted to close, but he doesn't have a sign off. Apparently, he can't close what he's saying. So he says, "I don't have a signature sign off, but I know someone that does."
Yeah.
And
he does the gun symbol though.
He passes the mic to Omega, and Omega's like looking at it, but you can tell Omega's like looking at it. Like,
do you know what Omega? So if you look at any interviews with Omega, he's just genuinely a kind person, right? Is the best way to put it. And you could see in his face, he's like, I can't do my signature. He was like, thank you for that. I mean, he's like, I can't do it. And you can see on the mic, he was awkward about it. He was like, how do I approach it? I can't say bang.
And he handled it so well. At first, he's like, I'm not going to do it. He's like, actually, we might be off the air. We're going to have some fun with it. I'm going to say boing.
Instead of bang.
I thought, well done, man. You handled that.
Yeah, he handled it as best as he could, because obviously he didn't see it coming. You could see it on his face.
Yeah, but he handled it with so much respect for everybody as well. You know what I mean? Like he could have just gone on and said, "No, I'm not doing it. I can't say that," and like hand the mic back to Cody. But he didn't. The fans were there. He's thinking about them non-stop, and he handled it so well.
This is the man, who during a scrap between multiple men went and saved a dog.
I love Kenny. I was speaking to Jamie about this before recording. Kenny, my top 3 wrestlers I love all time: Kevin Owens, Adam Cole, and Kenny Omega. Kenny has reached top point for me. I love him.
Wow. All top wrestlers. So he's in my top 5, I think. Yeah. Because mine is I'm basically Bret Hart, HBK, Triple H, and then probably now I think Hangman Page actually made it in, and Omega.
Triple H is,
and actually no, you know what? Ospreay is getting close to making it. I haven't seen enough of him, but he probably will be eventually. What about yours, actually, Jay? Now we're talking about it. What's your top 5?
I won't say it in any particular order.
Yeah, well, mine wasn't particular order. It was just.
Okay. Yeah. So it is Kenny Omega, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe.
Oh, Samoa Joe. Nice. Oh, you must be loving AEW right now.
I am. Yeah. I will probably watch the Ring of Honor programming for more Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to love TNA back in sort of 2005 to maybe 2008. Okay. Like TNA was the thing I would watch more than WWE back then, and Samoa Joe was a big part of that.
I mean, when I started, it was basically Bret Hart and HBK, and they basically carried it for me. And then eventually, as I continued, Triple H was the main reason I came and watched it every time with WWE. So, yeah.
Nice. And there we go. That's episode 3.
We're done.
In the
Oh my
bag.
god, we've done it, guys.
So to both of you, then, what are your final thoughts on this PvP? Mike, I'll go to you first, which might be a mistake.
It is a mistake because you know what I'm thinking. I said it for the whole thing, so I'll just leave it. I don't think it was pay-per-view quality.
It wasn't pay-per-view quality. I do agree with that.
In every sense of the word, sense of the word, and we'll just
Well,
leave it there. Okay.
Not every.
No, it's my opinion.
Kenny
So
Shima.
yes, every.
Kenny
What was
Shima.
that? Yeah, Kenny Shima.
That's pay-per-view quality.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That was incredible. Yeah.
That's a win for me.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fair play. It is what it is. But yeah,
you played yourself.
yeah, but no, yeah. I mean, I think I would be more disappointed if my expectations weren't. They weren't that high to begin with. Like the card, I didn't think was particularly amazing.
No,
it wasn't bad. It was just not amazing, and I feel like it delivered what I expected. But some of the matches could have been better. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. When you're on a third pay-per-view, it probably needs to be better. Especially as now you've only got one more pay-per-view, a big pay-per-view, and then you're into the weekly programming. And then from there, you kind of want to build on the momentum.
I feel like,
the last
honestly, I genuinely feel like even though they advertised it as a pay-per-view, I feel everything they did during that, they didn't treat it as one. And I feel that's why it wasn't a paid event.
Okay, Damien.
I think we're all on the same page, to be honest with you. The Omega and Shima match was pay-per-view quality. Rest of the matches, maybe not so much. Especially the main event, in my eyes, wasn't pay-per-view quality at all.
No, fair enough. And we can't. Well, I'm kind of disappointed by it.
Yeah,
I think
it was. Really?
You're right. The card was. I know. I don't want to shit on things too much. I try to play devil's advocate where I can.
Somebody's got to balance me out.
And it's so hard to do. Even though the card didn't really look that great, I was kind of still expecting more from the matches that we got. And there were matches that I went into and came out a little bit disappointed. Obviously, the Brotherhood and the Young Bucks plus the SCU and the Luchas match. Kind of expected more from that and didn't get to see it. I probably will get to see it on this podcast, so I'm still looking forward to that, unless I get disappointed again. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, as this isn't a pay-per-view. It didn't have that quality of a pay-per-view. The crowd were shocking all the way through.
That didn't help, and that's nothing to do with what was going on. The crowd was just a bad crowd.
A crowd can elevate a mid-match.
Yeah.
And we got mid-matches on this, and we got a mid-crowd.
Yeah.
We kind of covered it as well.
Yeah, sorry. I would say we got mid-matches and we got a low crowd.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd probably go with that as well. And now we've watched the pay-per-view, we can sort of go in a little bit more depth. We kind of covered it at the start. Where would you rank this pay-per-view against the other two that we've seen so far?
It was the worst one.
Beneath
it's
them,
not even. I wouldn't even put them in the same category.
Yeah.
It's beneath them, 100%. Like the other two look down on it.
Yeah, they're just like, is that another pay-per-view down there?
They look at this pay-per-view and they go, "Really? We done this? Why?"
Yeah, I really can see now why Fight for the Fallen was relegated to just a special Dynamite every year. Doesn't deserve its own pay-per-view.
No, it does not.
But looking at the card for the next pay-per-view, we've got some. Oh yes, we've got some very, very good matches in there. Things like SCU versus Jurassic Express.
Ooh, nice.
Hikaru Shida versus Riho.
Yes. Oh, is that the women's champion?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No, it is not.
Okay.
Do we get the Liberians, Leva Bates and Pure Avalon?
Leva Bates is in the Casino Royale match at the very beginning.
I will be on the next podcast, folks.
Yep.
We get Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans. Cody versus Sean Spears. Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks in Escalera de la Muerte.
Okay.
For the AAA World Championship. Jericho versus Adam Page for the World Championship.
That I'm looking forward to.
Kenny Omega versus Pac.
I cannot wait.
That's going to be amazing.
In a technical submission match.
What?
Oh. Yes, I'm very excited for that one. And we will be recording it at the end of this month. So it should be coming out at the start of February. But now, for the more important things of tonight. Match of the night. Damien, go.
Match of the night for me was Kenny Omega versus CIMA.
Mike.
I'm literally going through the list right now just in case I forget something in how it is. I'm just checking. God, you know what? I'm going through it. It's so yes, Kenny Tashima. God, the matches were bad. There's nothing to even challenge it.
We have a rare agreement, guys.
Oh
Kenny
my
Tashima
God.
is also my match of the night as well.
Yeah.
MVP. Damien, go.
Kenny Omega.
Mike.
I think it was Shima for me. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Wow. Okay, so I could get a little deadlock here, but mine is neither of them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, who was yours?
Mine is Brit. Because
Yeah.
fair fucks to her for getting concussed through no fault of her own and managing to carry on that match and see it to the end.
No,
So
I-
fair fucks to Brit for that.
good
Fair
choice.
enough.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Mike, what is the tope count?
4. And did we not get any during the last 2 matches? I'm correct in that, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so
4
4.
is indeed the total count for tonight, which gives us a grand total of 12 for the last few pay-per-views. We're on 12 tope suicidas already.
4 per, like basically 4 per 2.
It has actually been 4
event.
per pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And looking at the next few matches, I mean, like Private Party and Helico Jack Evans, definitely going to be one in that.
Yeah. I'm just going to say now, those bastards better fucking jump over the rope and let it go through it.
I mean, Riho's good for one. Like, she's done one in today's match. Cody versus Sean Spears, one's going to happen. Lucha Bros for the Young Bucks. Come on.
Yeah.
All 4 of them are
Someone's going to have to do a tope in that one. We can only hope and pray for more tope suicidas. Before we go, we just want to thank everyone that's watched this episode and has subscribed to our channels. We really do massively appreciate you all. Of course, if you like our content and you're not already subscribed to our channel, go on, hit that button.
If you do want to watch all previous episodes of the podcast, remember, you can do so by searching for the Wrestling Rewind podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify.
And you can also follow us on our social media channels for updates and more. Find us on our Facebook by searching the Wrestling Rewind podcast and on Twitter by searching at WR_POD.
Oh, sexual chocolate for my ears. So that's us done for another episode. So it's a goodbye from Mike.
I'll tope see you later, folks.
A goodbye from Damien.
Catch you later.
And it's a goodbye from me. We'll see you on the next one. A tope suicida. Oh. Oh.
Hey, I'm the tope that time forgot. Deal with it.
Oh, for Christ's sake. No, you're going back to the Marvez Appreciation Club.
Yeah, next episode you are going to be El Presidente of the Malix Marvez.
I'm gonna make an outro appropriate for every name you give me, so you think about that.
But before we go, we just want to thank everyone that's watched this episode and has subscribed.
Hold on a second. We haven't done highlight of the night yet.
We don't do highlight of the night.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
We do now.